Chapter 475. Just as Lady Qin was about to cry and complain, Huamin immediately went up to help her up. "Auntie, are you okay? It was too dangerous just now. Why are you wearing high heels at home at night? What if you fell?" "You? I'm sorry, I can only call you Auntie, because you and Uncle didn't pay me to change the way I address you." Huamin continued to smile and stopped Lady Qin from talking. Qin Chu walked downstairs and smiled. "Did you see that? My wife isn't happy that you didn't give her a red packet. We still have to give you a red packet. When we find a good day, we'll hold a dinner party for you guys," Qin Yumin said slowly. "Thank you, too." Huamin smiled and walked up to Qin Chu. Lady Qin was so angry that tears came out of her eyes, but she couldn't say anything because Huamin stopped her. "Look, you're an adult now. Why are you crying after falling?" Qin Yumin walked over to support his wife. "Thank you for dinner. We're leaving now. We'll visit you guys more often in the future." Huamin emphasized the word, more often. Then, she grabbed Qin Chu's arm and walked out. As soon as they walked out of the door, Lady Qin sat down on the sofa and began to cry loudly. "What did I do wrong? Why did Chu marry a woman like this? He's forcing me into a dead end. What's going on?" Qin Yumin was confused when he saw how emotional his wife was. "Didn't you see how good that vixen was at acting? She tricked our son into thinking that she was a good daughter-in-law in front of us. You don't know how she treated me when you guys went upstairs. Inside the Audi R8, did I go too far?" Huamin asked softly. "What's wrong? I made your mom so angry that she cried." "She's really too much. Why is she competing with a junior like you? She's really getting older and more like a child." Huamin knew that he could not fool Qin Chu. They knew each other too well. She was just wondering if Qin Chu was already prejudiced against her after what she had done. Huamin didn't say anything else. "Why are you unhappy? Do you not like the car?" "No, I like it very much. Is this my birthday present?" Huamin asked. "Birthday present? Of course not. How could I use this as a gift? It's too insincere. I heard from Gao Ran that you were going to give me a surprise." His mouth is too loose. Tell him not to spout nonsense. He didn't say anything. He only said that there was a surprise waiting for me and that I was looking forward to it. Just wait. You'll know when the time comes. Qin Chu smiled mysteriously. The next morning, Huamin drove his new car to work at Southside. As expected, it caused quite a stir. Although there were many Mercedes-Benzes and BMWs, there weren't many sports cars. Audi R8 couldn't be compared to Ferrari or Lamborghini. However, it was still a luxury car. Its price wasn't any lower than a Porsche or Maserati. She purposely chose a turtleneck today because Qin Chu, that beast, was too crazy last night. He left a lot of hickeys on her neck. In order to cover her tracks, she wore a turtleneck. She didn't think that the cream-colored turtleneck paired with a pair of white casual pants and a ponytail would make her look very young. In reality, Huamin was only 24 years old. She was indeed very young. She was the youngest head nurse at Southside. She was also the strictest and most reputable head nurse at Southside. She had a great reputation. Other than being a little cold, she was a good person. "Head nurse, you're rich?" Looking at the luxury car, a few young nurses surrounded the office and questioned her. "My boyfriend gave it to me." Huamin smiled. "Your boyfriend is a rich kid, right? He's so rich he gave away a car worth over 2 million yuan. "Yeah, I'm a little rich. I'm getting married soon, so he gave me this car." Huamin didn't want everyone to think that she was rich, so she directly revealed that she was getting married. "That's great, you're going to marry into a rich family." "I'm not rich, I'm just a well-off family," Huamin said humbly. "Head nurse, there's a delivery, please sign for it," a young nurse at the door shouted. The other nurses immediately left, leaving Huamin alone in the office. The delivery guy slowly walked in. "What delivery is it this time?" Huamin asked casually. "It's me." Hearing the voice, Huamin looked up in surprise. Under the yellow baseball cap was a devilish face. Chapter 476. "Suyu? Why you dressed up like this?" Min almost went crazy when he saw that the deliverman was actually Su Yu in disguise. The media has been following me closely lately. I have to be careful when I go out during the day. Why are you looking for me? Can't I come to see you because I miss you? Su Yu casually sat down in the chair across from Min. Min remained silent. I'm sorry about what happened to Xianxia. Why are you apologizing? It's not your fault. Min looked up at Su Yu. I didn't kill Boren, but Boren died because of me. The logic is the same. It's not my fault. However, Xianxia attacked you because of me. Fortunately, you're fine. Otherwise, I would feel guilty for the rest of my life. Don't say that. Didn't you get revenge for me? You sent the evidence, didn't you? Yeah, I gave her a chance, but she didn't cherish it. I thought that if she told the truth, I'd just ban her and lock her up for 3 or 4 years. But now it's 8 years. I heard that the second trial upheld the original verdict. You did something to it, right? Min heard from Gao Ran that Xianxia refused to accept the verdict and wanted to appeal. However, the second trial upheld the original verdict. Yeah, 8 years is a light sentence for her. It's not light. She's a celebrity. 8 years in prison will ruin her life. You pity her? Su Yu asked with a smile. Of course not, I'm just stating the truth. So, you used me? Is that a fact? Min paused for a second and replied, It's a fact, but I didn't do it on purpose. It's okay, I don't blame you. Very few people can see through me. You just happen to know my weakness. I was thinking, God arranged for me to meet you on purpose, but didn't give me a chance. Is he trying to kill me? Ta. Su Yu smiled bitterly. So you came here today to complain to me? Of course not. I said that I miss you, so I'm here to see you. Your lousy Weibo is always offline. I've been watching it for a long time, but I didn't get anything. I don't use Weibo often. Add me on WeChat. No. Tiski. You're still so heartless. Su Yu laughed. He knew that Min was still so unreasonable. Did you change your car? He saw that Min's parking space had been replaced by an Audi R8. Qin Chu is really stingy. If you were my wife, I would definitely give you a Bugatti Veyron. Min, I like Audi. I like this brand. It has nothing to do with money. Min? Su Yu suddenly said in a serious tone. Min looked up. Do you know what I like most about you? I don't know. I like how pretentious you are. It's so fucking rare. Su Yu laughed maniacally. Min, okay. She finally found someone more perverted than Huasiqian. It had to be Su Yu. Get me a glass of water, I'm thirsty. Min picked up a paper cup, filled it with water, and handed it to her. It's almost your birthday. Do you want a present? Su Yu asked nonchalantly after drinking the water. How did you know? Ha, it's easy for me to find out. I don't want anything. Don't give me anything, I won't accept it. Min knew that Su Yu always burned money like crazy. She would never accept such an expensive item. As your good friend, I'm giving you a birthday present. What's wrong with that? Don't be so pretentious. Tell me, what do you want? As long as you want it, as long as I have it? Su Yu. Min bit his lips and said, Wish you were never friends. Mian raised her head and stared into Su Yu's eyes, enunciating each word clearly. Su Yu felt like something deep in his heart was slowly being torn apart. It hurt, it hurt. Chapter 477. Yes, you're right, we were never friends. Su Yu lowered his head and repeated Min's words. To be exact, Su Yu felt that he already had deep feelings for Min, but Min never accepted any of his kindness. She didn't want the things he gave her, and she rejected everything he wanted to be nice to her. From the very beginning, she knew who she was. Even if no one reminded her, she didn't want to have too much to do with Su Yu. I'm sorry, I may have been a little harsh, but... Min looked at Su Yu's dazed expression and felt bad. It's okay, I've always known how important I am to you. I know I can't compare to Qin Chu, at least not now. But Min, remember, Su Yu, may have a bad reputation in the past and I'm a jerk, but from this moment on, I'm going to work hard. work hard to become the most important person in your heart. Even if I can't replace Qin Chu, I'm going to be the most important person in your heart. Whether it's a friend or a lover, I'm going to work hard for this goal, and I'm not going to give up. Su Yu's words really shocked Huamin. Su Yu didn't look like he was joking. Huamin was very worried and wanted to make it clear to Su Yu. He didn't want to give him any hope. Su Yu, don't be like this. It's impossible between us, and it's impossible. It's not up to you whether it's possible or not, it's up to God. I believe that if God arranged for me to meet you, it wasn't just to play with me. Goodbye. After that, Su Yu didn't give Huamin a chance to speak. He turned around and left. Leaving Huamin alone in the office, he didn't feel good about it. In the end, a relationship was a matter between two people. She and Qin Chu were just right, although they had been very tired and careful in order to maintain this relationship. However, she had always known who the man she cherished the most and loved the most was. And Su Yu's involvement would not only make the space too crowded, but most importantly, with Su Yu's wealth and conditions, there was absolutely no need for him to bear the charge of being a third party. Moreover, Huamin had never thought of herself as a peerless beauty, and there was nothing about her that could attract men. However, Su Yu seemed to have been bewitched, stubbornly refusing to let go. Su Yu left the recuperation area with a heavy heart. He took off his weird delivery suit and put on a luxurious branded one. Then, he drove his cool Lamborghini all the way to a certain club. Wow, you're early today. Tang Chuan was quite surprised to see Su Yu not in the company but in the club at this time. Look at your face, I'm guessing you're not happy. What's wrong? You look like you're not satisfied. Do you want me to find a woman to put you out? Wei Liao laughed as well. Su Yu didn't say anything. He walked over and sat down. Then, he poured himself a glass of wine and downed it in one gulp. It's her birthday soon. Whose birthday is it? Tang Chuan froze. Who else could it be? The girl she loves, of course. Why, it's her birthday, so you want to do a good job. Wei Liao immediately guessed Su Yu's intentions. Yeah, help me think, what gift should I give her? How can I give her an unforgettable birthday? That's easy. Send out your cruise ship, go to international waters, and party for 24 hours until dawn, Tang Chuan suggested. How lame. Su Yu gave him a cold look. Why don't you book the entire Ritz-Carlton and invite all the artists under your company to party for her birthday? That's too ostentatious. Won't the whole city know about it the next day? Then I don't have any better ideas. Wei, you do it. Tang Chuan proposed two ideas, but they were both rejected by Su Yu. He directly threw the hot potato to Wei Liao. Wei Liao smiled evilly. Su Yu knew that he was up to no good. Chapter 478. Sure enough, Wei Liao said slowly, in my opinion, don't be too ostentatious. Just drive your RV and take her to the top of the mountain. You can enjoy the night view, have a candlelit dinner, drink some red wine, and then drug her and have sex in the car. As long as what's done can't be undone, I'm not afraid that she won't listen to me in the future, right? Su Yu asked. Correct. Wei Liao nodded. I knew you wouldn't come up with any good ideas. I'd rather think about it myself. With that, Su Yu stood up and left. Hey, you just got here and you're leaving already? Tang Chuan yelled, reluctant to see him leave. You guys go ahead and drink. I need some peace and quiet to think about it. Damn, he's not serious, is he? I haven't seen him so serious in a long time. He didn't even take Imperial Star's annual gala seriously, okay? Huamin is a god. Tang Chuan exclaimed. You just realized? I thought that woman was a god a long time ago. She's married to Qin Chu and can make Su Yu's heart itch. Do you think she's an ordinary woman? I think she's average looking. At most, she's elegant, but not a peerless beauty. A woman's charm doesn't lie in her looks. Beauty alone won't last long. She has to rely on her methods. Wei Liao smiled. So you're saying Huamin is a very clever person? I didn't say that. I only know that she's very, very good. Wei Liao had heard of Huamin's stories. She was a strange woman. When they were in high school, Qin Chu was deeply in love with her because of all the interesting things that had happened to her. The strangest thing was that Huamin didn't treat Su Yu nicely from beginning to end at Southside Recuperation Center. Unfortunately, this grandpa was infatuated with her. Moreover, he was so infatuated that his head was spinning. If one were to say that Huamin was playing hard to get, then one could only say that she was playing hard to get. Su Yu didn't want a $10 million sports car, and he didn't want a $50 million jewel. It was the first time in his life that Su Yu couldn't give anything away. It would be a lie to say that Huamin did not love money. Everyone loved money, but Huamin was not greedy. A gentleman's desire for wealth was justified. He felt that there was no reason for him to take Su Yu's things for free. His three values were still very upright, and he was also quite a person with moral integrity. However, Huamin probably had enough to worry about with a suitor like Su Yu who had no moral integrity. When he got off work in the evening, Huamin had already prepared the dough, baked a few scallion pancakes, and made a light tomato and cucumber soup. When Xianxia came in, the soup was ready. "What delicious food are you making now? I can smell it from afar." "There's really nothing delicious today, just some simple pancakes and soup." After saying that, Huamin carefully took out the soup bowl. "I'm so lucky to have married such a virtuous wife. Then can I say that I'm proud of marrying into a rich family?" Huamin smiled and reached out to take off her apron. Xianxia was one step faster than her. He walked behind her and gently helped her take off her apron. "Didn't I tell you not to go into the kitchen? But I got off work early, and I have nothing to do. Hurry up and eat." Xianxia took off his jacket and sat across from Huamin. The two of them had a simple dinner, and the TV was on. Occasionally, they would listen to the news. Huamin loved this simple daily life. She always felt that this was what she wanted the most. Stable, simple, and happy. After dinner, Xianxia cleaned up the dishes and went into the study to work. Huamin was watching the 8 p.m. TV show on TV. It wasn't until 10 p.m. that she felt sleepy. She went upstairs to take a shower and then went to bed. At this time, Xianxia also finished his work. After taking a hot shower, he went to bed and hugged Huamin. He lovingly kissed her on the cheek. "You're so mushy." Huamin chuckled. "I can't get enough of kissing my wife." "Of course, if you kiss someone else's wife, you'll be in trouble. You've always been a sharp-tongued person. There's only one way to deal with that mouth of yours." "What?" Huamin was shocked. "Like this," Xianxia said as he lowered his head and bit her rosy lips, catching her off guard. Chapter 479. After a round of tenderness, Huamin was a little shy. She hid under the blankets and refused to come out. Xianxia, on the other hand, leaned against the headboard and hugged Huamin tightly with one hand. He enjoyed the beautiful night and seemed to be reminiscing about what happened just now. "Honey, I just remembered something." "What is it?" Xianxia lovingly stroked her silky black hair. "My old house is going to be demolished, and it's going to be forcibly demolished. The compensation is only 1,500 yuan per square meter. The gangsters hired by the real estate companies sprayed red paint on the walls. I haven't heard of any new policies from there yet. Why would they suddenly develop that place? Which company did it? Also, 1,500 yuan is too much. Even if it's a civilian area, it should be at least 3,000 yuan to be fair." Xianxia wasn't surprised. He calmly analyzed the situation. "It's the Hua Corporation." "The Hua Corporation? It seems like he wants to force you to show up." Xianxia immediately guessed that it was Hua Zhenghai's idea. "He probably still thinks that I'm his daughter, so he's pestering me to go back to the Hua Corporation and become a puppet to help Hua Yanyan and Hua Si fight against Hua Xiqian. That's right, but this move is a little despicable. After all, that's where your mother lived for so many years. If it's forcibly demolished, she might not be able to accept it." "That's right. My mother is very emotional, and my brother is going back. The neighbors don't want to move either, and they're being threatened by the gangsters. Hua Zhenghai's doing this is really extreme. He wants to force me to submit. He knows that my weakness is my mother and the old house. What about you? What do you think?" Xianxia looked at Huamin and asked. Huamin rolled his eyes. "I didn't have any ideas at first. You know, I didn't care about the Hua family before I found out about my real identity. Now that I know I'm not a part of the Hua family, I'm even more indifferent. Hua Jinghai and Xinjiani don't seem to want to let us go. They've been making a big deal out of this, so I have an idea. You plan to use this opportunity to return to the Hua Corporation and then… Qin Chu didn't finish his sentence, but it was obvious that the two of them had a tacit understanding. Hubby, you really know me the best. Huamin smiled and pinched Qin Chu's chiseled chin coquettishly. But, if you go back to the Hua Corporation, you might not be able to leave. Qin Chu was worried that Huamin would take the risk. No, with my IQ, I can easily deal with Hua Zhenghai, Xinjiani, Hua Yanyan, and Hua Si. But don't forget, there's still Hua Siqian. On the surface, I'm going back this time to help Hua Yanyan and the others, but in reality, I'm going to deal with them. So, Hua Siqian is my ally, and I'll use this opportunity to form an alliance with him. That way, I'll be able to achieve twice the result with half the effort. Forming an alliance with him is like forming an alliance with a wolf. That's not a good idea. All these years, Qin Chu had been wary of Hua Siqian. Although he didn't do anything substantial, Qin Chu always felt that Hua Siqian was a very dangerous person. During the 7 years he was in the States, the one thing he worried about the most was that Hua Siqian would attack Huamin. Other than that, he didn't worry about anything else. Luckily, he didn't. He's not that powerful, don't treat him like a god. He's just an ordinary person without 3 heads and 6 arms. I'm not afraid, don't worry. Mian, why don't you leave this to me? Qin Chu coaxed Huamin. He always had endless patience. Honey, do you believe in my abilities? I do, but… Then it's fine. Trust me, I want to deal with the Hua family on my own. After all these years, it's time for me to make a clean break with them. Huamin had been harassed by the Hua family for many years. In the past, she was always labeled as an illegitimate daughter, and after she grew up, she had to deal with their scheming harassment again and again. Now, Hua Jinghai didn't care about their old relationship and forced Yang Meirong to become homeless. This completely ignited Huamin's desire to fight. This was the first time she wanted to fight against the Hua family. The next morning, after arriving at Southside, Huamin called Hua Jinghai in his office. Mr. Hua, I promise to go back and help you, but you have to stop the demolition immediately, Huamin said straightforwardly. Chapter 480. Hua Corporation Headquarters, President's Office. Hua Jinghai was very happy to receive Huamin's call. Threatening to demolish GK was indeed effective on Huamin. This was much easier than Xinjiani begging them. That's why I say, these poor people are really stubborn. They don't agree to it even though it's easy to negotiate, and they insist on forcing me to make a move. Hua Jinghai was very satisfied with Huamin's compromise and stopped the forced demolition. His plan was simple. First, he would force Huamin to come back and get closer to him. Second, he would try to get Huamin to gain a foothold in the company and help Hua Si come back to China to solve the problem. Then, there was the most important third step. When Huamin fell for his fake fatherly love, he would propose a partnership with GK. Through Huamin, he would be able to climb up the big tree that was Qin Chu. It was killing 3 birds with 1 stone. President's office, President Hua, that's what happened. The assistant explained everything to Hua Siqian. Hua Siqian was in a great mood as he played with a miniature globe in his hand. President Hua, Miss Hua is coming back to help the president. How can you still be in the mood to smile? Of course I'm happy that little sister Mian is back. She's finally coming home. Hua Siqian said with deep meaning. But she's our enemy. She's on Hua Yanyan's side, the female assistant said anxiously. No, she's not our enemy. She's our lucky star. Okay, you can go back to work. Yes, President Hua. The female assistant turned around and left. Hua Siqian slowly stood up and looked at the traffic outside the window. Hua Jinghai's move was great. He forced Huamin to come back, but Hua Siqian knew that Huamin wasn't compromising. She came back for revenge. Ever since he was young, he knew Huamin too well. She was never a coward. Moreover, if he wanted to solve the demolition problem, Qin Chu alone could solve it in minutes, but Qin Chu didn't do anything. This meant that Huamin wanted to solve this problem himself. Looking at the tall buildings in the distance, Huasiqian reached out his hand and drew a heart on the tempered glass. Then he smiled devilishly. It's little sister Mion's birthday soon. What gift should I give her? Huamin's birthday was on September 18th, which was the day of the most famous incident in history. Until now, on this day every year, Sea City would still sound the alarm to remind its citizens to remember their history and not forget their national humiliation. On the morning of September 17th, Huamin received many gifts when he went to the rehabilitation center. Everyone knew that she was a cautious person, so they didn't dare to give her expensive gifts. Most of them were small trinkets. Some of the nurses gave her dozens of yuan worth of scarves, some gave her anti-radiation glasses, and some gave her anti-smog masks. Head nurse, happy birthday in advance. How did you guys know? It's on your resume. Plus, our hospital gives gifts to the leaders like you. I heard that you have a day off, and we even prepare a health supplement for you. I heard it's bird's nest this year. Tiske, I'm so jealous. The nurses chattered. Huamin smiled. Thank you for your gifts. I'll treat everyone to lunch. How about ordering food from gluttonous uncle? Yay, thank you, head nurse. The nurses were overjoyed. Gluttonous Uncle was a famous takeout restaurant in the city. The food was delicious, but it was a little expensive. Huamin got up and was about to do her rounds when she suddenly saw the young man from room 7 standing at the door. Sister, I heard that tomorrow is your birthday, but you have a day off, so I prepared a gift for you. Then, the young man took out a plush doll that was about a meter tall. It was modeled after the scarecrow in League of Legends. It wasn't cute and was even a little weird, but Huamin liked it because it was a gift from the young man. Thank you, Jiaming. Huamin took the doll. I can be discharged in 3 days. I'm recovering well. Thank you for taking care of me all this time. When I go back to school, I'll listen to you and study hard. Good luck. Looking at the rebellious and tyrannical young man with a bright smile, Huamin felt her mood lighten up. At this moment, her WeChat beeped. It was a reminder. Huamin looked down and saw that someone had sent her a red packet. No way, so early. My birthday isn't until tomorrow? Huamin opened WeChat curiously to see who was so annoying. Chapter 481. It was a WeChat red packet with the words, Girl, happy birthday in advance. Other than Zhu Lingling, no one owed him more than she did. The maximum amount of WeChat red packets was 200 yuan. So when he saw the red packet, Huamin wanted to say, Damn you, why are you so stingy? You only sent me 200 yuan. Then he saw the sisters send another red packet and another red packet. There were a total of 10 red packets, which meant that there was a total of 2,000 yuan. What do you think? Am I a good friend? Zhu Lingling sent him a WeChat message. Sister, can't you just transfer the money? Sending 10 red packets, aren't you afraid of the trouble? Huamin sent a disdainful emoji. You don't understand. Transferring money is so tacky. WeChat red packets represent my feelings. If I send 10 red packets, you'll get tired of receiving them. I'll crush you with money. That's the feeling I want. You're so perverted, but I don't mind if you continue to crush me with money. Let the storm come even fiercer. Go to hell, how much do you think my monthly salary is? How can it satisfy a rich person like you? If you want big red packets, you have to wait for Mr. Qin. Alright, you can also blackmail Gao Ran, that big guy. Forget about Gao Ran, don't get in the way of him chasing girls, huh? Is he chasing girls again? Zhu Lingling immediately asked. You seem to care a lot about him, how can you say that he's not involved? Huamin smirked. Go away, don't talk nonsense. I'm asking you something serious. Why don't you just ask him? I can't answer you. After chatting with Zhu Lingling for a while and working in the morning, it was noon in the blink of an eye. Huamin ordered takeout for the nurses in his department. Everyone ate happily. During the meal, someone suddenly mentioned Jiao Jiao, the nurse who resigned. Head nurse, did you hear? Jiao Jiao was scammed by that Thai guy. I don't know, I haven't contacted her, Huamin said honestly. Originally, she thought that she had hooked up with a rich man, but in the end, not only did she fail to hook up with a rich man, but she was also cheated out of a lot of money. Even her savings of many years were cheated out of her. She was extremely miserable. It was said that she was now working as an escort in a certain nightclub. That can't be. Jiao Jiao's temper is so bad. How can she be a hostess? One of the nurses asked. Weren't they all forced? Who can stand the taste of being poor? Besides, you can earn quite a lot from being a hostess. Huamin thought for a moment and felt that it was miserable enough. Isn't that Thai guy quite rich? Why did you cheat Jiao Jiao of her money? Thinking back to those days when the Thai guy was recuperating in the hospital, Jiao Jiao kept him company every night. They looked very loving. It's said that the Thai guy is also a freeloader. He has a wife in Thailand and has a powerful family background, so he didn't have much money on hand. Later, he said that he was having a hard time and even gave Jiao Jiao a diamond. Jiao Jiao took out more than 300,000 yuan of her savings and sold her car to him. In the end, he took the money and ran away, disappearing without a trace. That diamond was also a high-quality imitation. Thai people are so evil. Everyone sighed after hearing this, but no one sympathized with her. After all, she walked her own path. Jiao Jiao was eager for quick success, so it wasn't strange that she encountered something like this. Head nurse, you're the one with the best willpower. When young Master Su stayed here for so long, everyone said that he cared about you the most. However, you didn't even look him in the eye. Not many people can resist temptation, one of the nurses complimented. It's not that. I just think that we shouldn't dream too big. People like us can't control people like Su Yu. Plus, I have a boyfriend. Why would I want to mess with someone else? Yes. Head nurse, you're the one with the right values. It's good that you have a boyfriend. You should always walk the right path. Unorthodox methods won't work. After finishing his work in the afternoon, Huamin packed up his things and drove out of the hospital in his Audi R8. I'm coming. Are you ready? Wei Liao asked anxiously as he sat in a black RV. I'm ready. We can start anytime. I'm counting down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Wei Liao seemed to be very nervous. He looked through his binoculars and saw Huamin's silver Audi R8 about 300 meters away. Chapter 482. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Wei Liao ordered into the phone. Suddenly, there was a loud bang from both sides of the viaduct. Huamin was shocked. She thought that her car's tire had burst. She looked up and saw that there were fireworks on both sides of the viaduct: red, blue, green, purple, and pink. In short, the colorful fireworks were especially beautiful. Every time the fireworks bloomed, they would faintly turn into words. When combined together, they actually read, "Happy Birthday." Huamin drove slowly. Just like this, the places her car passed by were filled with fireworks. It was as if they were deliberately designed for her. At first, she thought that it was a surprise from Qin Chu. But she thought that Qin Chu wouldn't do anything on the 17th. After all, her birthday was tomorrow, and it wasn't past midnight yet. So, who was it? Was it prepared for her, or was it a coincidence? If it was a coincidence, why were there fireworks everywhere her car passed? Fireworks were strictly prohibited in the city. It was said that agricultural fairs were not allowed, except for New Year's Eve. No department had the right to brazenly set off fireworks like this, unless that person was very powerful. Suddenly, Huamin thought of someone. It must be him. Inside the RV. On the luxurious leather sofa, Wei Liao, Su Yu, and Tang Chuan were sitting inside, drinking red wine. The car slowly followed Huamin not far behind. The places they passed by were filled with fireworks. Isn't her birthday tomorrow? Isn't it a little early today? Tang Chuan muttered. She's celebrating with her husband tomorrow. We won't have a chance to set off fireworks, okay? Wei Liao rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan. Old Wei, can you not be so blunt? Our young Master Su's heart is pounding. Su Yu just held his glass of red wine and looked at the fireworks by the roadside. He didn't say a word. He seemed to be thinking about something. Lord Su, I didn't know you could be so romantic. If I were a woman, I would definitely marry you. I don't want you. Don't disgust me. Su Yu smiled. But seriously, if you do this, will she know it's you? Tang Chuan was a little worried. She doesn't need to know, she just needs to appreciate it, Suyu said quietly. The fireworks along the way attracted a lot of onlookers. Many people stopped their cars to take videos and post them on their moments. Even Jixin uploaded a video to his WeChat moments. Which big brother did this? It's so romantic. But from the looks of it, these fireworks must have burned a lot of money, so I think this is a game between rich people. Huamin looked at it and sighed slightly. Suyu's actions really surprised her. Was there really any meaning to this? Lord Su, don't just stand there. There's a turn ahead. They're almost home. It's your turn. Wei Liao put down his wineglass and reminded Suyu. Suyu also put down his wineglass and slowly stood up. Speed up, catch up to that Audi R8 and force her to stop, Suyu ordered the driver domineeringly. The driver stepped on the gas pedal and immediately sped off. He suddenly stopped not far in front of Huamin. Huamin was so scared that he immediately stepped on the brakes as well. Then, Suyu, wearing a black leather jacket and beige casual pants, walked out of the RV. He walked up to Huamin's car and knocked on the window. Get out. Why? Suyu raised his eyebrows. I don't know what you're up to this time. You're not going to force a kiss on me, are you? I'm telling you, Suyu, don't do anything stupid. We're on the street, and there are so many people watching. Huamin was scared out of his wits and was very wary of Suyu. He was a madman, and if he really did something out of line, how would he explain it to Qinchu? Chapter 483. Forced a kiss? Sis, you sure have a wild imagination. Suyu was speechless. Hurry up and get out of the car. Otherwise, we're going to waste time here. Suyu pointed at the cars behind them impatiently. The sudden stop on the highway caused the cars behind them to jam up and honk their horns non-stop. The traffic police immediately rushed over, but when they saw that it was Suyu, they didn't dare to approach. Instead, they held onto their walkie-talkies and tried to calm the cars behind them. Huamin turned around and was shocked. In less than a minute, there were at least 40 to 50 cars blocking the road. The scene was quite spectacular, and the beeping sound made her feel unusually frustrated. Finally, she decided to get out of the car. Huamin reluctantly opened the car door and got out of the driver's seat. What's the matter? Hurry up and tell me. Suyu glanced at her, then took off something from his neck and stuffed it into Huamin's hand. Huamin was just about to say that she didn't want it. Suyu said, Don't worry, this isn't anything expensive. It's just an ordinary bullet shell. I kept it as a souvenir when I was in the army. I thought it looked pretty, so I kept it with me. Happy birthday. If you don't mind it being worthless, please accept it. It's a token of my appreciation. Suyu was very smart. His words blocked Huamin's way out. He was only giving her a bullet shell, which really wasn't anything valuable. If Huamin didn't accept it, then it would mean that she didn't like it. So this time, Huamin really didn't have a reason to reject it. She lowered her head and looked at the old eggshell in her hand. It really didn't have anything special about it. It was really ordinary. Thank you. Huamin held the bullet shell in her hand and thanked Suyu. Huamin, happy 24th birthday. After that, Suyu turned around and left. Looking at Suyu's back, Huamin was momentarily moved. This man always did bold and crazy things, which was unexpected. Just as Huamin was about to get into the car, Suyu suddenly said loudly without looking back, It represents a wish. If you have any wish, you can bring it to me and I will help you fulfill it. As long as I can do it, I will do it for you. If Huamin was a little touched before, then at this very moment, he was deeply shocked. It turned out that Suyu had not given him a bullet shell, but a wish. This was a huge promise. Even if she casually wrote a check, or asked for a sky-high villa, or a luxurious sports car. Even the shares of Imperial Star. As long as she was willing to ask, as long as Suyu could do it, how big of a birthday present was this? Huamin looked at the inconspicuous bullet shell and suddenly felt that this gift was too heavy. Inside the motorhome, how is it? Is it done? Wei Liao and Tang Chuan hurriedly asked. She accepted it. Perfect, but did you really agree to one of her wishes, even if she asked you to marry her? Tang Chuan questioned. You wish. If only that were the case, our Lord Su would be overjoyed. Wei Liao rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan. There's no rush. She might come to me with the bullet shell when she thinks about it, Su Yu said quietly. Back then, when he was carrying out a mission, he was hit by a bullet when he was fighting with the enemy. At that time, the bullet was in the left side of his chest and almost pierced his heart, almost killing him. Therefore, he felt that it was a lucky bullet shell. After the surgery, he asked the nurse to keep it for him as a memento. Then, he carried it with him all the time. In the blink of an eye, several years had passed. Last night, he suddenly came up with the idea of giving it to Huamin. In the end, he set up this trap today. Fireworks and bullet shell, this combination was unprecedented. Suyu was a weirdo among weirdos. When Huamin returned home, Qin Chu was still at work. After she cleaned the house, she sat on the sofa and watched TV. The evening news was reporting about the fireworks at Duga. However, the media did not mention Suyu, nor did they dare to. At that moment, Huamin's phone suddenly rang. Chapter 484. Sis, are you off work yet? Yeah, I just got home. What are your plans for tomorrow? Jixin asked mysteriously. I don't know yet, Qin Chu isn't home yet. Sis, why don't you take Qin Chu home? Tomorrow he'll come back to our place. I don't think so, Mom would be furious. Huamin said hesitantly. But they'll have to see each other eventually. Maybe we can use this opportunity to resolve their relationship? I don't have classes tomorrow, so I'll be home after I take the day off. I'll help you then. Mom won't make things too difficult for you. Although she's been mad at you over this, I saw her buy some wool a few days ago. I think she's knitting an autumn sweater for you. It's probably your birthday present. If you don't come back, she'll be disappointed. Jixin's words made Huamin waver slightly. She did want to take Qin Chu home, but what about her mom? Okay, I'll think about it. Okay, I'll wait for your news, sis. Oh right, you better come back, I got you a present too, Jixin said with a giggle. Got it, little rascal. After she hung up, she received a WeChat message from Zhu Lingling, who was also asking about tomorrow's plans. Gao Ran said before that the four of them were going to have a little get-together, but Qin Chu wasn't home yet, so they couldn't decide on the specifics. Just as she was thinking, Qin Chu opened the door and walked in. You're back? Huamin jogged over in slippers to get Qin Chu's slippers. You haven't eaten yet, right? Let's go get changed, we're going to eat seafood. Qin Chu hugged Huamin dotingly. Seafood, okay, I like it. After speaking, Huamin immediately went to the sofa to grab his jacket. The two of them then drove to a famous seafood restaurant. Should we ask Gao Ran and Lingling out? No need. It's rare for us to be alone, Qin Chu rejected. All right, but I received a red packet from someone today. Huamin stuck out his tongue and laughed. Qin Chu took the menu and ordered all of Huamin's favorite seafood. I want to confess something to you. Is it about the fireworks? I got it. No, there's more besides that. It's Suyu, right? Qin Chu seemed to have guessed it. Huamin nodded. Then she told him about how Suyu gave her the bullet shells. She didn't want to hide anything from Qin Chu. Qin Chu didn't have much of an expression when he heard this. He just nodded. If he wants to give it to me, then let him. Hubby, aren't you jealous? Why should I be jealous? He's not a threat to me. Fine, Mr. Qin is in his tsundere mode again. Huamin chuckled. Hubby, what are our plans for tomorrow? Huamin asked expectantly. Nothing much, just work as usual, Qin Chu purposely said. Then he lowered his head and sipped on his tea. Huamin was instantly disappointed. She pursed her lips and didn't say anything else. Honey, what's wrong? Nothing. You don't look too happy. No, I'm born with a sad face. Huamin pouted. Qin Chu's lips curved up slightly, and he reached out his hand and pinched Huamin's cheek. Okay, I'll stop teasing you. I won't go to the company tomorrow. I'll listen to my goddess Hua's orders 24/7. Really? Huamin immediately smiled in surprise. Absolutely. Then you can't go back on your word. Listen to me. I won't. I'll listen to you. Even if you want me to do it 7 times tonight, I'll do my best to satisfy you. Ahem, what are you talking about? Huamin immediately blushed. Seeing Huamin's embarrassed expression, Qin Chu smiled. His smile was relaxed and handsome. Mr. Qin, cut the crap. Hurry up and take out my birthday present. Huamin reached out her hand and demanded her birthday present. She was looking forward to seeing what Qin Chu would prepare for her birthday after 7 years. Chapter 485. Who would ask for a present? Aren't you ashamed? Qin Chu purposely laughed. Fine, I don't care. Hurry up and give it to me. This was the first time Huamin acted like a spoiled little girl, just like 7 years ago. She was rude and unreasonable, but Qin Chu spoiled her. Okay, I'll give it to you after dinner. Then I'll eat quickly. After speaking, Huamin couldn't wait to dig in. After a seafood feast, Qin Chu drove her to a place. It was a place she had never been to before. Where are we going? Huamin was confused as she looked at the unfamiliar route. To get your birthday present, Qin Chu said mysteriously. Don't be funny, did you dig a hole and bury my present in the mountains? Huamin asked with a smile when she saw that the car was heading towards South Hill. Something like that. You're so perverted. The two chatted and laughed along the way, and finally, after about 40 minutes, they arrived at their destination. It was indeed South Hill. Apparently, the government was going to develop this area in the future because there were a few natural hot springs here. There were golf courses, resorts, and the largest wetland park nearby. Most importantly, the mountain here faced the ocean. If one stood on the mountain, they would be able to overlook the night view of the entire city. It was very, very beautiful. There had been rumors that GK had bought this land. Seeing how mysterious Qin Chu was, Huamin thought that the rumors were most likely true. The rumors are true, right? What rumors? After Qin Chu parked the car, he held Huamin's hand and got out of the car. They said that GK bought out the rights to develop South Hill. Yeah, my dad bought this land 10 years ago. In the past 2 years, the government has started to develop it. It has the potential to become the busiest new district in the city aside from the city center. Huamin nodded. The scenery is not bad. Other than the distance from the city, everything else is good. The corners of Qin Chu's lips curled up. Then he grabbed Huamin's hand and led her upstairs. The mountain road was very flat and there were bright street lamps on both sides. They were shaped like water droplets and looked very romantic. Are we going to the top of the mountain? Yes. Then why don't you drive up? Wouldn't it be tiring to walk? Huamin was puzzled. There are some things that you have to experience slowly and attentively. You can't experience it by driving, Qin Chu said meaningfully. Hey, you should have told me earlier that you wanted to climb the mountain. I would have changed my shoes. Huamin frowned as he lowered his head and looked at his shoes that were slightly too small. If he had known this would happen, he would have worn sports shoes. Qin Chu took a few steps and suddenly squatted on the ground. Then he looked back at Huamin and said, Honey, come up. Do you want to carry me? But I'm very heavy. Huamin smiled. I can carry you no matter how heavy you are. Come up. Qin Chu's persistence moved Huamin's maiden heart. She slowly walked over and laid on Qin Chu's broad back. She wrapped her arms around Qin Chu's neck and slowly got up from Qin Chu. Step by step they walked slowly. Huamin suddenly felt that this was the most peaceful and beautiful time she had had in the past 7 years. It was just the two of them, late at night, quietly on the mountain road with street lamps on both sides. Qin Chu carried her on his back and walked up step by step. At that moment, Huamin suddenly had the idea of singing a song. And she actually did it. She pressed her head tightly against Qin Chu's back. She tilted her head and looked at the beautiful night sky as she softly sang. Whatever you say, I'm willing to do. The rocking melody of a little train. Everything can be true. I will believe everything you say because I trust you completely. The delicate love, the heavy feeling of a blanket, the familiar sense of security after being exposed to the sun. The soup we share, 2 spoons in a bowl. The left side of my heart, it's so warm. I want to say that you're actually very good, but you don't know it. You're really good to me, you don't ask for anything in return. When you love someone, you want them to live well. From the bottom of your heart, you're more important than yourself. After Huamin finished singing, she thought that Qin Chu would be very touched. Who knew that he would say, "Honey, you didn't sing out of tune today." Chapter 486. Qin Chu, do you have a death wish? How dare you say that I sang out of tune? Huamin raised her head and flicked Qin Chu's head. No, I meant that I didn't sing out of tune at all. It's amazing. Huamin, fine, it wasn't her fault that she was tone deaf. Fine, she just didn't have the talent for music. She wanted to sing a song to liven things up, but he didn't seem to appreciate it, honey. Yeah. Will you carry me for the rest of your life? Huamin suddenly asked in a sad tone. Qin Chu paused slightly and stopped walking. Then he said, as long as you're willing, I'll carry you for the rest of my life. Then I'll eat more and gain more weight. Let's see if you can carry me then, Huamin purposely said with a smile. If I can't carry you, then I'll hug you. If I can't carry you, then I'll carry you, Qin Chu said as he walked. Huamin didn't say anything else. Instead, she quietly laid on Qin Chu's back and enjoyed the beauty of this moment. She loved Qin Chu very much and cherished the time they spent together. However, she always felt uneasy. She didn't think that she was such a lucky person. She didn't think that happiness would come so easily. Therefore, when she was at her happiest, she always worried that she would lose it. Maybe it was groundless fear. Anyways, Huamin always felt uneasy. The more she thought about it, the more scared she became. Therefore, she tightly hugged Qin Chu. Honey, are we there yet? After a long time, Huamin felt that Qin Chu's steps were very slow. It seemed like he had reached his physical limit. We're here, Qin Chu said as he slowly bent down and gently placed Huamin on the ground. When she saw everything in front of her, she felt like she was dreaming, because everything was too unreal. Qin Chu waved his hand, and the guard at the door immediately opened the door. Looking ahead, there was a green lawn of more than 500 square meters. In the middle was a circular fountain. When the fountain sprayed out, it formed a rainbow arc coupled with the 7 colored lights. It was as dazzling as a real rainbow. After passing through the lawn and the fountain, there was a huge castle in the middle. To be exact, it was a villa in the style of an ancient castle. It was 3 stories tall, but its length and width were both very large. It seemed to be built like a 5-star hotel. On both sides of the door were shallow swimming pools, and in the middle were wooden steps that led to the entrance of the villa. It was luxurious yet dreamy. It was Huamin's first time seeing such a stylish house. He was amazed at first sight. Honey, this is? Huamin looked at Qin Chu in disbelief. Your birthday present. It's too luxurious. Qin Chu held Huamin's hand and walked all the way to the door. Then he took out a key card and a key. The name here is yours. Do you remember when I told you that the South Hill Villa was being renovated when we got our marriage certificate? Is that why we're living in Imperial Park now? Yeah, I remember. Huamin vaguely remembered something like that. At the time, he thought that Qin Chu was just saying it casually. Who knew that the South Hill Villa really existed? But this is such a huge project. How much money and manpower did it take? Huamin couldn't help but sigh. It took me 2 years to build this house. When I was still in the United States, my dad asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I drew this blueprint and told him to build me a house on Nanshan Hill according to it. When I returned to China, the house had already taken shape. I spent 4 months decorating it. Now it's just completed. It's just before your birthday, so I've fulfilled one of my wishes. It must have cost a lot. Huamin looked at the huge project and felt his heart ache. Not a lot. It's less than 400 million yuan in total, Qin Chu said word by word. 400 million yuan. Oh my god, that's crazy. Huamin felt that spending 400 million yuan on a house was too much. Let's go in and take a look. I'm sure you'll like it. Huamin took the key card and key, carefully opened the door, and walked in. Everything in front of her shocked her once again. Chapter 487. The living room was spacious and bright. There was a 3-meter-tall chandelier above her head. It was all made of crystal and looked very luxurious. The entire living room was lit up as if it was daytime. The chandelier went from the first floor to the third floor. It was similar to the design of a 5-star hotel lobby. The most important thing was that the surrounding walls were circular. The high-quality wood was pasted with high-end wallpaper. The walls were filled with famous European paintings. It was very reminiscent of the Louvre. The entire design was like a European palace. The most important thing was that Huamin didn't see where the door was. Where would she go to the second and third floors? Are you looking for the door? Huamin nodded. The door is designed to be invisible. Look, it's a landscape painting on both sides. Just gently push it open. After speaking, Qin Chu walked over and gently pushed open a painting. It was actually a door. It was too magical. Huamin felt like she was Alice in Wonderland. This design is amazing. Was it your idea or the designer's? Huamin asked excitedly. What do you think? Qin Chu chuckled. Then he pulled Huamin to tour the place. There was a kitchen, guest room, master bedroom, bathroom, movie theater, billiard room, yoga room, and piano room. Every room had its own decoration style. There were many types of bedrooms. There were Mediterranean decorations, simple European ones, mix-and-match ones, and postmodern ones. The tea room was decorated in China style. There was an expensive zither and a high-quality tea set. Everything was available. Huamin suddenly felt that this wasn't a new home. It was more like a museum. Finally, Qin Chu brought her to a baby's room on the second floor. The boy's room was designed in sky blue. The wallpaper was blue. The bed was shaped like a pirate ship. Even the furnishings were some Transformers, robots, Ultraman, Spider-Man, and other superheroes. The girl's room was pink. The wallpaper was musical notes and the moon. The bed was round with a pink curtain. It was very dreamy. The furnishings in the room were some Barbie dolls, Crouching Bear, Pink Piggy, and Ollie dolls. It was so cute. Even the details in the child's room are so exquisite. You're so meticulous. Huamin picked up the small decorations in the room and couldn't bear to put them down. This will be our home in the future. We and our children will always live here, so it's worth it no matter how much effort we put into it. The view from here is very beautiful. Against the mountain, facing the sea, halfway up and at the foot of the mountain, I plan to build a park like Disneyland for our children and the children of the entire sea city. It will be free for all children. What do you think, honey? Huamin looked at Qin Chu and her heart fluttered slightly. She put her arms around his neck and said, Mr. Qin, do you know how high and mighty you look right now? I'm not that tall. I'm only doing this for our child. This was something that Qin Chu had planned when he and Huamin got married. Later, Huamin said that she wanted a child. Qin Chu was ecstatic. He did all of this in silence, and Huamin just wanted to share the fruits of his labor with him. I'm suddenly so jealous of her. Who? Our child. She's not even born yet, and you're already going through so much trouble. I'm so jealous. Huamin chuckled. Qin Chu pinched the tip of her nose lovingly. You're such an idiot. Hey, okay, let's not talk about this. You're making it sound like I'm already pregnant. It's still early. I don't know when I'll get pregnant. It's okay. We'll just wait for her to come. Of course, we'll work hard to welcome her. Then, Qin Chu carried Huamin up to the master bedroom on the top floor. Huamin looked at Qin Chu's gentle eyes. She was once again lost in his deep love. Chapter 488. South Hill Manor, a children's playground, and a colorful fountain. Qin Chu tried his best to fulfill Huamin's dream of being a princess, allowing her to bask in immense happiness. After a round of lovemaking, Huamin went to take a bath. When she came out of the shower, supper was already prepared. On the long table in the 200-square-meter master bedroom, there was a candlelit dinner of steak, foie gras, caviar, and Boston lobster. There was also an intricate birthday cake with a cartoon girl wearing a nurse's cap, looking very much like Huamin. Qin Chu held a bottle of 1986 Lafite in his hand and raised it at Huamin. Honey, it's midnight. So, Huamin walked out of the bathroom while drying her hair. So, happy birthday. Qin Chu's lips curled up into a gentle smile. Huamin looked at all of this beauty and suddenly felt that it was great to be 24. For Huamin's 24th birthday, Qin Chu gifted her a mansion worth 400 million yuan. It wasn't that more money was better. The point was that this mansion contained all of Qin Chu's blood, sweat, and tears over the past 4 months. He personally designed every single detail in the house. He was busy with work at GK while taking care of Huamin's daily life. He also secretly built this new home behind her back. The design of every room was unique. If one visited every room, they would be amazed by the owner's mind. It was as if they traveled through time, from European style to Chinese style, and then to Southeast Asian style. What Qin Chu valued most wasn't money or time, but rather, the thought that he put into Huamin. He thought that in this world, there was no other woman that he would spend so much time and effort on. All of this was to prepare her 24th birthday present and a new home that belonged to them. Huamin changed into the white silk gown that Qin Chu prepared for her. It was strapless, fishtail, and a thin layer of gauze covered the bottom. It felt a little like a wedding dress. Very beautiful. Qin Chu, on the other hand, was wearing a casual black shirt with expensive diamonds on the cuffs. Black and white matched perfectly. The two of them sat facing each other. Out of nowhere, another musician had appeared. It was a handsome foreign guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. He played Richard Clayderman's Starry Sky on his violin after getting used to listening to piano performances. Suddenly listening to the violin version of Starry Sky was refreshing. Because the castle villa was too big, it was impossible for them to have a world of just the two of them. There were butlers, maids, chauffeurs, and even gardeners. Huamin felt that she was truly going to live the life of a rich young mistress. After changing into the dress, Qin Chu stood behind Huamin and helped her zip up the dress. Then he grabbed her shoulder and said, "I wonder if I could have the honor of having Goddess Hua dance with me? It's my pleasure to serve you, Mr. Qin." Huamin smiled and extended his hand. The two of them didn't dance the gorgeous waltz, nor did they dance the lively tango. Instead, they slowly danced to the slow rhythm of Starry Sky. Under the light, Huamin felt like a princess for the first time in her life. If she kept dancing like this, she would feel like she was in a dream. "Do you like this arrangement?" I really like this place, and I really like your design." Huamin was flattered. "You're the mistress of this place, so if I or our children don't listen to you, you have the right to kick us out at any time. Isn't this a little too arrogant?" Huamin leaned her head on Qin Chu's shoulder and snickered. "Mian, do you have a birthday wish?" Qin Chu asked as he held her waist with both hands and danced. "Yes, what is it?" Qin Chu asked with a smile. Chapter 489. I'm not telling you. Huamin smiled mysteriously. "Fine, I won't ask if you don't want to tell me. It must have something to do with me." Qin Chu was still arrogant. After the two danced, they ate supper together. Then, Huamin drank a lot of red wine, which was a rare occurrence. Qin Chu prepared 3 bottles of red wine, but it wasn't enough. In the end, he asked someone to bring out another bottle from the wine cellar. Luckily, this was their new home, so there was a private underground wine cellar. Huamin was on cloud 9. Plus, Qin Chu was in a good mood, so he agreed to let her drink. In the end, when Huamin and Qin Chu finished the 4th bottle, she suddenly stood up. Then, she walked towards Qin Chu and she sat down in his arms and wrapped her arms around his neck. Her eyes were a little misty. When the violinist saw this, he immediately went out of the room, not wanting to disturb the couple's private time. "Mian, you're drunk?" Qin Chu rarely saw Huamin act so seductively. He was actually a little nervous. "I'm not drunk, I'm very sober." Huamin flirtatiously leaned against Qin Chu's ear and breathed into it. Her weak panting actually caused a subtle reaction in Qin Chu. Huamin raised her hand and unbuttoned Qin Chu's shirt. Although it seemed bold, her movements were actually very clumsy. Qin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Honey, I can do it myself." Qin Chu smiled as he reached out and unbuttoned all the buttons on his shirt. His bronzed skin instantly appeared before her eyes. Huamin's cold little hand quietly slid in. She touched him everywhere. Qin Chu's breathing became heavy. There was only one person in the world who could so easily arouse his desire, and that was Huamin. Although they had just been intimate, however, Huamin seemed a little different after drinking. She actually changed her usual self and took the initiative to seduce Qin Chu. This was the first time. Therefore, Qin Chu had to cherish this opportunity. He lowered his head and kissed Huamin's fair neck. Then, he gently nibbled on it. Huamin felt as if there were countless small flames rising in his body, becoming hotter and hotter. The strapless gown was easier to take off. Qin Chu's slender fingers gently moved. Instantly, her chest was exposed. "Hubby?" Huamin mumbled. Why are you so good-looking? Your eyes are good-looking, your mouth, and your nose are also good-looking." Huamin pouted and reached out to place a finger on Qin Chu's lips. Qin Chu's eyes darkened. "In my eyes, no one is prettier than you." "You're prettier than me." Qin Chu was speechless. Fine, he admitted that his Mian was a little drunk. However, since she was beside him, he would forgive her this once. Qin Chu leaned over and bit Huamin's slightly red lips. Huamin wanted to say something, but Qin Chu blocked his mouth. This kiss went from gentle to rough, from gentle to domineering, and never stopped. Huamin felt hotter and hotter. It was as if there was a furnace hidden in his body, and his body was slowly melting. Qin Chu's reaction was obvious. The pain coming from below made him impatient. At this moment, Huamin suddenly flipped over and got off Qin Chu. Leaving Qin Chu alone in a mess. "Honey, something on your body is touching me." "It's uncomfortable," Huamin said in a daze. Qin Chu was speechless. Fine, he really didn't know how to explain to Huamin what it was that was touching her. "Honey, we haven't." Qin Chu didn't wait for him to finish his sentence. Huamin fell onto the bed with a bang and fell asleep. Qin Chu was speechless. He swore that he would never let Huamin get drunk again. His alcohol tolerance was really bad. He was only responsible for starting the fire, not putting it out. Qin Chu sighed slightly. He got up and walked into the bathroom to take a cold shower. After he came out, he helped Huamin take off her gown. Then, he carefully carried her to the bed and held her in his arms. On this unforgettable night, Huamin's 24th birthday, he and she fell asleep in their new home. "You're awake?" Huamin opened her eyes early in the morning and saw Qin Chu looking at her with his head resting on his hand. Chapter 490. "Good morning, Mr. Qin," Huamin said drowsily as she rubbed her eyes. "Get up and get ready. I'll wait for you downstairs." Qin Chu kissed Huamin's cheek and went downstairs. After Huamin got up and washed up, she walked downstairs. The dining room on the first floor was brightly lit. Looking at the garden outside through the tall tempered glass, it was really refreshing. "Good morning, madam." "Good morning, a young lady." Along the way, all the maids greeted Huamin, which made her feel a bit uncomfortable. "Did you sleep well last night?" Qin Chu asked dotingly. "It was great." "Really? But I didn't sleep well?" Qin Chu said meaningfully as he sipped his coffee. "Is it because I snored?" Huamin tilted her head and asked. "No, is it because you're not used to sleeping in a new bed?" Huamin asked with a smile. "Not really." "Then why didn't you sleep well?" Huamin asked curiously. "Because you seduced me when you were drunk last night. Then, just as I was about to make my next move, you fainted on the bed and slept like a pig," Qin Chu said slowly. "Huamin, so, your alcohol tolerance is really bad. Test complete." "Mr. Qin, I'm sorry. I apologize." "Apologies don't work. Give me some actual compensation." "What kind of compensation do you want?" Huamin looked at Qin Chu with puppy eyes. "I have to do it twice tonight, to make up for what happened last night. Otherwise, I'm sorry for taking a cold shower in the middle of the night." "Ahem, can you keep your voice down? There are other people here." Huamin felt awkward. She was afraid that the maids nearby would hear her. Looking at Huamin's embarrassed and shy appearance, Qin Chu proudly raised the corner of his mouth, indicating that he was very satisfied. What's our schedule today? Huamin took a bite of the bread and asked. I'll listen to you. Then I want to take you back to the old house because my mom and Jixin want to celebrate my birthday with me. Qin Chu slowly picked up his cup of coffee and didn't say anything. But it's okay if you don't want to go. I'll be back soon. We're going to have dinner with Gao Ran and Lingling tonight. Perhaps he was afraid that Qin Chu would feel awkward, so Huamin came up with an excuse for him. No, I'll go with you. Qin Chu raised his head and said firmly. But my mom, her attitude might not be too good. Huamin was a little worried. I understand. No matter how she treats me, I'll accept it. Our family owes it to her. From the day I got together with you, I was prepared to accept anything. Qin Chu's words were very manly, and Huamin felt very touched. He knew that his mom wouldn't be nice to him, but he was still willing to go with her. It only meant that he loved her and her dog. After dinner, the two of them drove off in Qin Chu's Maybach. When they passed by the mall, Qin Chu got out of the car and bought a lot of high-end nutritional products such as bird's nest and sea cucumber. He also bought the latest model of tablet and phone. On the way, Huamin suddenly asked, Huamin, are we moving to the South Hill mansion soon? Are we going to live there from now on? You don't like it? No, I just think it's too early. We don't have a baby yet, and it's too empty for just the two of us. Plus, it's so far from where I work. Most importantly, I don't want to leave my home at Imperial Park. Huamin gave a few reasons in one breath, but the most important one was that she didn't want to leave her home in the city center. They had lived there for more than 4 months. From the moment they registered their marriage until now, it already felt like home. Qin Chu understood Huamin very well, so he nodded. How about this? We'll live in the city center from Monday to Thursday, and go to the South Hill mansion on Friday night until Sunday. What do you think? Sure, that's a good idea. We can live in both places. Huamin nodded in agreement. After driving for more than 30 minutes, they finally arrived at the old mansion. The words, demolition, on the wall were still very eye-catching. Qin Chu frowned slightly. How did the Hua Corporation deal with the demolition? Chapter 491. Hua Zhenghai never really wanted to demolish it. He's a cunning businessman, so he wouldn't buy this worthless slum area at a loss. He just wanted to force me to help him. I agreed to go back to the Hua Corporation, so he immediately canceled the demolition of this area. After that, everything was peaceful, and he didn't mention anything about forced demolitions, so this was all a trap. If that's the case, then even if you didn't go to him, he probably wouldn't have forced the demolition. He was just trying to scare you, Qin Chu analyzed. Huamin nodded. Yes, theoretically, but I've thought of something. What? If I don't go back to the Hua Corporation this time, then Hua Zhenghai might cause trouble again. He knows that my mother is my weakness, so he's been making trouble for her. I feel like I'm being led around by the nose, so I'm going to beat him at his own game. This time, when I go back to the Hua Corporation, I'll be ready to fight back. I'm not the kind of person who likes to be led around by others. Hua Zhenghai has to pay for bullying me like this, Huamin said word by word as she looked out the car window. Good girl, tell me if you need anything. I know, I can handle it for now, don't worry. Huamin hugged Qin Chu's arm and smiled coquettishly. Qin Chu always knew what kind of person Huamin was. She was someone who didn't want to be taken advantage of. If she was provoked, then with her intelligence, she could easily kill someone. It was just a matter of whether she wanted to do it or not. When the two walked into the yard with their bags, Yang Mirong was the only one there. She seemed to be picking vegetables. Huamin called out hesitantly. Yang Mirong looked up and saw Huamin and Qin Chu. She seemed unhappy. What's he doing here? Before Huamin could say anything, Jixin ran out of the house. He was very happy to see Qin Chu and Huamin. Brother-in-law, you're back. What brother-in-law? You better watch your mouth, Yang Mirong scolded angrily. Sis and brother-in-law registered their marriage and are legally married. Even though they didn't have a wedding in my heart, he's still my brother-in-law. Jing Jixin ignored his mother's scolding and walked over to help Huamin and Huamin take their things. Qin Chu handed her the tablet and phone. These are for you. Wow. It's the latest model. Thank you, brother-in-law. Jing Jixin was a guy, so he really liked electronic products. However, the latest electronic products on the market were all very expensive. Although his sister gave him enough living expenses, he still didn't want to spend his sister's money recklessly. Now that Qin Chu had given him a tablet and a phone, Jing Jixin really liked it. As for the yellow Chevrolet Camaro sports car, he still didn't dare to drive it home for fear that his mother would explode in anger. Let me help you. Huamin walked over and helped his mother pick the vegetables. Yang Meirong still didn't look happy, but she didn't say anything. I want to eat the longevity noodles you made. It's so delicious. Huamin said coquettishly, not caring if he would be scolded or not. You're the young madam of a rich family now. Why would you care about the food of us commoners? Just go to a restaurant and eat whatever you want. But I just like the food you make. No one can replace the taste. Yang Meirong's hand that was picking the vegetables trembled slightly. Huamin's words seemed to have touched a part of her heart. The two women were busy outside. Jing Jixin poured Qin Chu a cup of tea, and then the two of them chatted in the room. Brother-in-law, sometimes my sister's temper is very stubborn as a cow. Don't lower yourself to her level. You have to give in to her more. That's just how bad her temper is. That's right, I've been bullied by her since I was young. But don't look at how strong she looks on the surface. No matter how smart and powerful she is, she's still just a girl. In fact, she's very sensitive and weak inside. If she gets hurt, she'll hide and heal herself. I really love my sister, so please don't let my sister get hurt in the future. Chapter 492. Jing Jixin chuckled, but what he meant was simple. He wanted Qin Chu to be more tolerant of Huamin. Qin Chu was glad that this brother-in-law of his wasn't a useless second-generation heir who lived off his parents' family. Although he was young, he was very mature and loved his sister very much. Don't worry, I will never hurt her. Qin Chu gave Jixin a promise between men. Brother-in-law, I haven't thanked you yet. Although you didn't say anything, the school took care of me and gave me a scholarship. They gave me all the benefits first. I know it must be because of you. Did you talk to the school? Jing Jixin asked as he scratched the back of his head. Qin Chu didn't answer his question directly. Instead, he asked, Jixin, what are your plans after graduation? I haven't thought about it yet, but I have to find a job first and make money to help my sister support this family. Qin Chu nodded in approval. What major do you want to pursue? Let me know when the time comes. GK has many subsidiaries, and there's bound to be one that suits you. You can start from the bottom and learn a lot. When the time is right, you can come to the headquarters and help me. Of course, this is only my invitation and suggestion, it's up to you. Can I really go to GK? Jing Jixin was a bit surprised. Of course, you're Huamin's little brother, which means you're my little brother. It's our family business, so of course you have to come. Before Jing Jixin could say anything, Huamian walked in from outside, her hands dripping wet. What are you talking about? You look so excited. She asked with a smile. Nothing, it's just that Jixin told me not to bully you anymore, Qin Chu said. Don't worry, you little brat. Your sister is so fierce, no one will bully me. I'm the only one who can bully others. Huamin patted Jing Jixin's head dotingly. The love of a sister for her little brother was written all over her face. After working for more than an hour, Huamin helped his mother cook 8 dishes. They were all Huamin's favorite dishes: braised pork ribs, soy sauce pork trotters, spicy codfish, bitter melon fried eggs, homemade sausages, salted prawns, pine nut corn, green pepper pork liver, hibiscus soup. Almost all of them were Huamin's favorite dishes. Mommy, you're so biased. You're making all of my sister's favorite food, Jing Jixin taunted on purpose. I just did it casually. Yang Meirong immediately denied. Huamin picked up a piece of pork rib and put it in Qin Chu's bowl. Try this. It's my mom's best dish. No one can make it as good as this, not even the chefs of 5-star hotels. Qin Chu picked up a piece of rib and took a small bite. After chewing for a long time, he finally said slowly, Auntie Yang's cooking is really good. Brother-in-law, It's not right to call her Annie. Shouldn't you call her Mom? Jing Jixin purposely said, trying to close the distance between Qin Chu and Yang Meirong. Before Qin Chu could respond, Yang Meirong's face immediately darkened. You flatter me. I don't have such a noble son. I'm not as lucky as Lady Qin. Yang Meirong's words made Qin Chu and Huamin feel very awkward. Jing Jixin realized that he was too anxious and forgot that his mother still didn't like the Qin family. So, he changed the topic and immediately took out a shoebox from under the table and handed it to Huamin. Sis, this is for you. Happy birthday. Huamin took it and opened it. He almost fainted. It was a pair of black flat-heeled shoes. The leather looked good, but the style was so old-fashioned that it couldn't be any more old-fashioned. At this moment, she really doubted her brother's taste in shopping. Jixin, did you get the wrong one? You bought this for Mom, right? Huamin asked. It's not for Mom, it's for you. This style is too old-fashioned. Jing Jixin, are you sure you're not joking? Huamin wanted to cry. Chapter 493. Yang Meirong stared at the shoes and said, You really don't know how to buy things. I don't even like these shoes. They're too old, they're from 10 years ago. Ayaya, you guys really don't know anything. You don't know anything about fashion, yet you're saying that my taste is old-fashioned. Let me tell you, these shoes were custom-made at a private workshop. I drew the design myself, and I picked the leather myself. Including the materials and the craftsmanship cost, it costs more than 900 yuan. Do you know? Even though they're not branded, they're handmade and are very comfortable. My sister doesn't need fancy heels. If she goes to an event, my brother-in-law will prepare them for her. She usually runs around the hospital, so these shoes are the most comfortable for her there. After listening to Jing Jixin's earnest advice, Huamin suddenly felt that it made sense. But a pair of shoes like this costs more than 900 yuan. Jixin, did he scam you? Huamin placed the shoes on the ground and stepped in with one foot. They fit perfectly. Of course not, they're worth the money. Wear them, I promise you that they won't break even if you wear them for 5 years. Jing Jixin patted his chest and promised. Qin Chu looked at them and thought that they were pretty good as well. The design is ordinary, but the leather is good. It's perfect for you to wear for work. He really put in a lot of effort. Okay, I'll take them. Thank you, Jing Jixin. Huamin was very happy. Huamin was very touched that Jing Jixin used the money he saved to buy his sister a pair of shoes that cost almost 1,000 yuan. Mom, can you give sis your present too? Jing Jixin looked at his mother and said. What present? Yang Meirong didn't seem to want to say. Hey, hurry up and take it out. I saw you knitting a sweater a few days ago. I knitted it for myself. Yang Meirong was still stubborn. No way, that color is scary pink. If you dare to walk around in that sweater, I won't call you Mom anymore. I'll call you Holy Mother Empress. After hearing what Jixin said, Qin Chu and Huamin both laughed. Yang Meirong was also embarrassed. She stood up and scolded, Don't talk nonsense. Yang Meirong then took out a handbag from the closet behind her and handed it to Huamin. I originally knitted it for myself, but I chose the wrong color. It's too fresh and I can't wear it. I'll give it to you. It was obviously for Huamin, but Yang Meirong refused to admit it. However, Huamin knew what she was thinking. She happily took the bag. Thank you, Mom. Then Huamin took the bag into the bedroom and changed into the sweater. When they walked out again, everyone's eyes lit up. She was wearing jeans and a light pink sweater with a round collar. She looked fresh and beautiful. The sweater didn't have too many tricks or patterns. It was very simple, but the needlework was very good. Most importantly, it was knitted by his mother herself. This was a kind gesture that couldn't be bought with money. Wow, if my sister walked around our school in this outfit, she would be the prettiest girl on campus. Then Jing Jixin took out his phone and took a picture of Huamin. Don't talk nonsense. After speaking, Huamin looked at Qin Chu. Does it look good? It suits you very well. Qin Chu nodded, not stingy with his compliments. Huamin then walked behind Yang Meirong and wrapped his arms around her neck. He slowly said, Mom, I'm 24 years old today. Thank you for taking care of me for 24 years. In the past 20 years, although you didn't let me live in a mansion, you didn't let me live on the streets. Although you didn't let me wear designer clothes that cost thousands of yuan, you didn't let me freeze. You didn't let me become a rich second-generation heir, but you never lacked my pocket money. You didn't take me to restaurants every day to eat delicacies, but you didn't starve me either. Although you were very ordinary, you gave me 20 years of true love. Even though you sometimes get angry at me, you still care about me. Time has mercilessly taken away your youthful beauty, but don't be afraid, Mum. I am willing to accompany you in the long river of time as you grow old gracefully. Thank you for putting in so much effort to raise a proud and independent Huamin. Mom, I love you, and I will always love you. After speaking, Huamin gently kissed Yang Meirong's wrinkled cheek. At that moment, Yang Meirong burst into tears. Chapter 494. Jing Jixin also had tears in his eyes, and they were on the verge of flowing out. He wasn't a crybaby, but his sister's words were too heart-wrenching, and he wasn't prepared for it. Qin Chu was also a little touched by Huamin. He knew about Huamin's background, and that Yang Meirong wasn't Huamin's biological mother. However, she still loved Huamin. No matter how arrogant and calm she appeared on the surface, she was still a person of flesh and blood. Especially deep down, there was a kind side to her that all girls had. She knew how to be grateful, and she knew that her adoptive mother was more important than anything else. Even though she wasn't related by blood, it was hard to repay her kindness. You child, where did you get all this nonsense? Seriously? I'll go see if there's any soup left, and get some for you guys. After speaking, Yang Meirong got up and walked towards the kitchen. Sis, look at you, you made Mom cry, Jing Jixin said with a choked voice. If Yang Meirong wasn't her biological mother, then that meant that Jixin wasn't her biological brother. However, Huamin still doted on her and watched her grow up. After all these years, the bond between them was even thicker than blood. Just then, Huamin received a red packet notification. She opened it and saw that it was from Huang Yu, 88. 88 yuan. It wasn't a lot, but it was a token of her appreciation. Senior sister, happy birthday. I hope you'll always be so arrogant and strong, Huang Yu sent. Thank you, junior sister, but how did you know it's my birthday? I saw your resume at the hospital and remembered it, Huang Yu answered vaguely. Oh, I thought you saw Jixin's post on WeChat, Huamin said meaningfully. Jixin had just posted a picture of Huamin wearing a pink sweater, along with a caption, Happy 24th birthday, sis. Really? I didn't notice, I was at work and didn't look at WeChat, Huang Yu explained. Okay, I'll treat you to dinner later. Okay, senior sister. To be honest, after chatting with Huang Yu, Huamin's heart felt heavy. Huang Yu obviously saw Jixin's post on WeChat, but she didn't dare to admit it and said that she saw his resume from the hospital. This reason was too far-fetched. In fact, even if she said that she saw it on Jixin's WeChat moments, it wouldn't be a big deal. However, she hid it from him and Zethasithis ants. Jixin's. Emichim. How are you and Huang Yu doing? Huamian asked casually while her mother was away. What? Why zzzzzzz? SSSSS, SSSSSSS, SSSSSS, SSSSSS, S's, You really? I recently met a patient at Southside. She's from a good family and is a nice person. I'm planning to introduce her to Huang Yu. What do you think? Huamin stared at Jing Jixin's face and said word by word. After all, Jixin was only 19 and wasn't experienced enough. He couldn't hide his emotions well enough and couldn't hide his emotions well enough. After hearing his sister's words, his expression changed slightly. He forced a smile and said, Really? That's a good thing, why don't you tell her? Huamin quietly glanced at Jixin's face and didn't say anything in the end. After lunch, they left the old house. Although Yang Meirong didn't treat Qin Chu nicely from beginning to end, she didn't kick him out. However, she didn't kick him out. Huamian thought this was a big improvement. Jixin's not young anymore, it's okay to have a relationship. Why did you have to force him like you were interrogating a criminal? Qin Chu tilted his head and asked Huamin. Chapter 495. Qin Chu saw everything clearly and felt bad for his brother-in-law. I told you that he and Huang Yu aren't a good match. They thought I didn't know and kept hiding it from me. I don't feel good about it. Young people have their own way of doing things. I don't think you should interfere too much. I didn't interfere, I just gave him advice. I can't do anything if he doesn't listen. I know what you're worried about, but Mian, you have to know that it's useless to tell some people to be careful. They'll only grow up if they fall, Qin Chu comforted her. That's true, but Ji Xin is my brother. I can't help but worry when I think about how he'll be hurt in the future. You're messed up because you care too much. Qin Chu pinched her face, his eyes full of adoration. Upon hearing Qin Chu's words, Huamin also felt that she was too sensitive about Ji Xin. He was old and had the right to choose who to fall in love with, but she always felt uneasy, as if Ji Xin and Huang Yu weren't a good match. After leaving the old house, the two drove straight to a small farmhouse on the outskirts of Sea City. Gao Ran found this place. Apparently, it was a place where the police gathered for dinner. They could fish and eat there, and the environment was beautiful. When they arrived, Zhu Lingling and Gao Ran were already there and fishing. Of course, they couldn't forget to quarrel while fishing. Gao Ran, are you blind? Can't you see that my fish are about to bite? Why did you touch my fishing rod? Sis, it's your eyesight that's bad. It's just the wind, there's no fish biting. Let me tell you, I just fished in this area and nothing took the bait. You should go somewhere else, or else you won't be able to catch a single fish. I'm Jiang Taigong. It's none of your business if someone is willing to take the bait. Zhu Lingling rolled her eyes at him. Jiang Taigong, are they fishing for fish? They're waiting for Shibuho. You should study more, it's good for you. Fuck you. If you're so good at studying, why didn't you go to Tsinghua University? Why did you go to a bullshit police academy? That's because I'm great. I want to be the police of the people, get rid of evil for the people, and protect the peace of the area. Bullshit, you're just afraid of your dad. You're afraid that he'll break your legs. Gao Ran was speechless. Huamin's mood instantly improved when they heard the quarrel between the two clowns from afar. You two quarrel the moment you meet. Are you planning to quarrel for the rest of your lives? Huamin laughed. Why didn't you give me a call before you came? Come, let's go eat. I'm not fishing anymore. Gao Ran threw down the fishing rod and immediately pulled Qin Chu into the yard. Zhu Lingling also stood up. What took you so long? I'm starving. Both of us have finished eating. We ate at my house. You're home? You guys are home? Zhu Lingling looked at Huamian in surprise. Yes. Then your mother didn't do that, did she? What did she do? She didn't kick Qin Chu out, right? Zhu Lingling thought that Huamin's mother was terrifying when she lost her temper. She was 10 times scarier than her own mother. No, she didn't. Although she didn't look too good, she wouldn't kick us out. Huamin laughed. That's not bad, there's hope. He patted Huamin's shoulder and the two of them followed him inside. Zhu Lingling took out a bottle of perfume from her bag and handed it to Huamin. Here, a birthday present. Didn't you already give me a red packet? That was just an appetizer. I'm sure you'll like this. What is it? Huamin curiously took the perfume bottle. He looked at the label and was shocked beyond words. Lingling, this is? Huamin looked at Zhu Lingling in disbelief. Chapter 496. You like it, don't you? Zhu Lingling smiled proudly. How did you get it? Huamin was surprised. This perfume wasn't from a luxury brand, but rather, it was the work of an independent domestic designer. This designer was very strange. He only designed one perfume every year, and only produced 10 bottles of each perfume. He personally mixed all of them. Apparently, he grew the perfume himself and was extremely precious. This perfume was released last year by him. It was called Ultimate Seduction, and it had a very unique fragrance. Back then, many online stores imitated this perfume and it sold like hotcakes. When Huamin and Zhu Lingling were shopping, they met a girl who used the real thing. The fragrance was unforgettable for the rest of one's life. It was very light, but it lasted for a long time. At the time, Huamin loved it so much that he couldn't get his hands on it no matter how hard he tried. The designer only made 10 bottles, and it was already sold like crazy. Now, a year later, when Zhu Lingling brought out this perfume, Huamin was over the moon. What a coincidence! A month ago, the designer sat on our flight in first class. I was serving him and I recognized him right away. Then I asked him about the perfume, and I told him that my best friend really liked it. Without another word, he asked me to leave my address and mailed it to me. After every perfume is sold, he keeps a bottle for himself as a souvenir. This is the bottle that he kept for himself. But, Lingling, you're so cool, I love you so much. Huamin was ecstatic. Qin Chu looked at his wife faintly and said sourly, "It's just perfume, right? I'll buy you as many as you want." "I like Yanni's perfume," Huamin said stubbornly. Yanni was the designer's English name. "That's easy, just get him to come to GK, and he'll make your perfume in the future," Qin Chu said domineeringly. Huamin was speechless. Zhu Lingling, rich people can do whatever they want. Gao Ran, a domineering CEO. Bye. I can't even compare to him. Huamin smiled and carefully put the perfume in her bag. I don't want him to only make it for me. He's a free man and an artist. Restricting him is the same as blocking his talent. That's for the best. This kind of thing can't be forced. If I get it, I'll be lucky. If I don't, it's up to fate. But the designer is so kind to give you his treasured collection. Don't tell me you slept with him? Gao Ran interrupted sourly. Fuck your grandpa. Do you think everyone is as dirty as you? Fuck my bed? Oh, hold on, are you saying that you two have slept together? Huamin asked on purpose. Cough, cough, cough. Gao Ran coughed violently, not knowing how to cover it up. Zhu Lingling realized that she had let the cat out of the bag and immediately explained, "It was a misunderstanding. We were both drunk and accidentally. Nothing happened between us, really." I believe that you two slept together and nothing happened. Really? I believe you. Huamin laughed hysterically. She was amused by Gao Ran and Zhu Lingling's awkward expressions. Only a ghost would believe that, Qin Chu suddenly said. Hey, don't change the subject. Let me ask you, why did the designer sell you the perfume? Gao Ran looked at Zhu Lingling and asked. Of course he wouldn't sell it to me so easily. I gave him Michael Jackson's collector's edition album. He's a fan of Michael Jackson. Lingling, you gave him the album? Huamian knew that Lingling had bought the album from a lot of music stores when she went to the States for a vacation. She had always loved it. But I gave it to him. It's okay. After a while, I didn't like it anymore. I exchanged it for perfume for you. It's not a loss. Zhu Lingling smiled. Huamin knew that Zhu Lingling had always been a loyal friend. For something that she liked, she was willing to give up her own things to exchange for it. A best friend like her was worthy of a deep friendship. Huamin didn't take the risk to save her at the nightclub in vain. Hearing that Zhu Lingling had exchanged perfume, Gao Ran was relieved. Hey, what about you? Did you give me the birthday present? Hurry up. Zhu Lingling was afraid that Qin Chu and Huamin wouldn't let go of the fact that they slept together. She immediately pinched Gao Ran's shoulder and reminded him to take out the present. Chapter 497. After Zhu Lingling's reminder, Gao Ran immediately understood. Then he turned around and took something out of his bag. There was no fancy packaging or bag, he simply placed it on the table. Huamin, this is for you. Happy birthday. Gao Ran's gift left the other three dumbfounded. Are you kidding me? Gao Ran, you're not serious, are you? Huamian looked at the gift in astonishment. Of course I'm not joking. I'm giving it to you from the bottom of my heart. This thing isn't easy to get. I had to give it to you for personal reasons. It's even numbered, so it's definitely authentic. It's different from those high-quality imitations you can buy online. You can't get it even if you have money, understand? Huamin stared blankly at the brand new pair of handcuffs on the table. He felt like 1,000 alpacas had run through his heart. It really was a pair of handcuffs. And it was brand new with a set of numbers. But who would give a birthday present as a gift? Was Gao Ran crazy? However, Zhu Lingling knew Gao Ran better than anyone else. She immediately understood what was going on. She laughed and scolded Gao Ran. Gao Ran, aren't you a little too mean? They just got married not long ago. Isn't it a little too extreme for you to give them S&M? Qin Chu, Hua Min, what are you afraid of? This is fun, understand? Especially since they're newlyweds, they should try something new to improve their relationship. Hua Min, don't be shy and don't be afraid. These are for Qin Chu, not for you. When the time comes, put them on Qin Chu and you can do whatever you want with them. You can choose any position you want, Gao Ran said in all seriousness. Qin Chu, Hua Min, this is the first time I've seen someone give handcuffs as a gift. Gao Ran, you're really something else. Hua Min sighed from the bottom of his heart. That's exactly what I want to do. Huh. I think you're just trying to save money. You cheapskate, you just don't want to give us expensive gifts. No way, you have to treat us to this meal today, and you have to take us to Seductive Fox tonight. Otherwise, I won't forgive you, Zhu Lingling said as she pursed her lips. Huh? No problem. That's not a problem at all. But are you sure you want to go to Seductive Fox? You're not traumatized? Gao Ran admired Zhu Lingling. After what happened last time, she still dared to go to Seductive Fox. What are you afraid of? Do they want to die? Although Zhu Lingling was mocking Gao Ran, she couldn't hide the admiration in her eyes. Gao Ran was the youngest captain of the criminal police force in the history of the city. He had only been in office for a few years, but he had solved countless cases. Countless times he had confronted criminals and saved hostages. Needless to say, he was very adventurous. Although he didn't speak seriously, his character spoke for itself. TSK, I like what you said. Fine, it's just spending money, right? I'll be ruthless and take out a year's worth of salary to treat you guys to some fun. Gao Ran gritted his teeth and accepted Zhu Lingling's trap. Hua Min smiled as she took the handcuffs. After fiddling with them for a while, she looked at Qin Chu and faintly said, Honey, why don't you try it? I don't think that's a good idea, honey. Qin Chu slowly replied. Io, you two are so cruel. But seeing how harmonious you guys are, I'll swallow this PD. Gao Ran teased. Zhu Lingling suddenly asked, Did you see the 400 million yuan mansion? When are you going to invite us over? Anytime. Hua Min slightly smiled. After the four of them finished eating at the farmhouse, they sat around for a while before driving to Seductive Fox. As soon as the four of them sat down, the door to their private room was pushed open. A tall and handsome man stood at the door with 4 bodyguards behind him. Qin Chu. He greeted. Chapter 498. Rick. When he saw Rick, Qin Chu stood up and walked over. He bumped shoulders with the tall and handsome mixed-blood man and greeted him in a manner unique to men. Why didn't you tell me you were coming? I could have prepared. It's okay, I just brought my good friend and wife over for a chat. Rick nodded and said a few words to Qin Chu before he left. Soon, the waiters came in one after another. Dozens of exquisite fruit platters, beer, red wine, and foreign wines were placed on the table. Among them were 2 bottles of Royal Salute. Gao Ran knew about Royal Salute. It was a 50-year-old bottle of Royal Salute. The market price was around $10,000, which was around 60,000 renminbi. There were only 255 bottles in the world. It seemed like the owner was really generous to send such expensive wine over. It could only be said that he and Qin Chu were close friends. Gao Ran drooled as he looked at Rick. Not bad, bro. You actually know the big boss here. This kid is a weirdo. He rarely interacts with the outside world and is very mysterious. I suspect that he has a background in the underworld. I've been investigating him for a long time, but I couldn't find anything. He's a member of Rick's family. When I was in America, I was friends with him. After I came back to China, I didn't contact him much. After all, his business scope is different from mine. Qin Chu didn't seem to want to talk about Rick. Hua Min could tell, but he was afraid that Gao Ran would continue to ask. He changed the topic and said, Did you guys forget to buy me a birthday cake? Don't mention it, I really forgot. Zhu Lingling suddenly realized. That's easy, I'll make a call and have someone send it over. Gao Ran stood up and was about to make a phone call. Just then, a waiter knocked on the door and came in with a 3-tiered cake. It was extremely stylish. Our boss ordered this, please enjoy. This kid is really a god. He even knows that it's someone's birthday. Gao Ran looked at Qin Chu in confusion. I told him to prepare it just now, Qin Chu said faintly. So that's what you said. You're so attentive. Gao Ran patted Qin Chu's shoulder. Then, the 4 of them sat down, and Zhu Lingling placed 24 candles for Huamin. Then, he took out his phone to take pictures. Hurry up and make a wish. Blow out the candles, birthday girl. I wish you good fortune and a long life. Gao Ran joked. Happy birthday, my wife. Qin Chu kissed the corner of Huamin's lips gently, and the sweetness instantly overflowed. Then, Zhu Lingling, Gao Ran, and the others posted on their WeChat moments. Huamin also took out his phone and posted on his WeChat moments. 24 years old, happy birthday. After hesitating for a moment, she opened Sina Weibo and posted. Today, I'm 24 years old. I'm thankful to everyone that appeared in my life. In the future, no matter what happens, I will continue to walk forward with determination. If things go smoothly, it's called life. If things go rough, it's called experience. Actually, she didn't want to post on Sina Weibo, but she suddenly remembered that Su Yu didn't have her WeChat. That guy gave her bullet shells and even set off fireworks. If she didn't say anything, it would be too much. Sure enough, Su Yu saw the update and sent her a private message with only 4 words, Happy birthday. Huamin also replied with 2 words, Thank you. Although they were so polite and distant, Su Yu felt happy because Huamin replied to her. He even posted on Weibo to express his gratitude. Why are you smiling like an idiot? Did Imperial Star's stock price hit its upper limit? Wei Liao looked at Su Yu smiling as he held his phone and was very confused. Then why are you so happy? Guess. Su Yu looked up and smiled mysteriously. Do I even need to guess? I can tell with my eyes closed. What, did Miss Hua agree to have sex with you? Wei Liao teased on purpose. Chapter 499. I want to go on a date with you, do you want to? Su Yu glared at Wei Liao as he clenched his teeth. I'll pass. I like girls, not guys. Even if you're pretty, I won't do it. Su Yu never thought that he would one day be so happy because of a normal Weibo post from a girl. Ever since he met Huamin, he suddenly realized that the world had become a better place. Even though Huamian wasn't his girlfriend yet, he felt that his life with her was different from before, where he spent all his time drinking and fooling around. At least he had something to look forward to every day. Huamin was like a drug that he couldn't get rid of. Once he was infected, he would be deeply addicted to her. Oh right, back to business. I heard that Zhao Qingya suffered a lot in there. You know what a women's prison is like. It's much worse than a men's prison. Don't you feel bad for her at all? Wei Liao had always been a gossipy person, so he would talk to Tang Chuan and the others about things in private. They all knew about Zhao Qingya's situation in the prison. A certain rich kid's family was the leader of the prison, so they knew better than anyone else what kind of life Zhao Qingya was living in there. Feel bad? She's lucky that I didn't skin her alive. Su Yu's eyes turned cold at the thought of Zhao Qingya. Luckily, Huamin was fine. Otherwise, even if Zhao Qingya died 10 times, it wouldn't be enough to cover Huamin's life. Women could play tricks and fight with each other, but Zhao Qingya was so stupid as to use those scum in the mafia. Su Yu was infuriated. Luckily, Huamin wasn't an ordinary person. He was always able to stay calm in the face of danger and turn danger into safety. Therefore, Su Yu knew exactly what kind of life Zhao Qingya was in there. What he wanted was to torture her for 8 years. He wanted her to reflect in pain. Tisk. He really doesn't know how to be protective of the fairer sex. But that woman is also too much. Why did she provoke Huamin? I don't understand. Is Huamin someone she can afford to touch? Humans should know their limits. Otherwise, they won't even know how they died. Wei Liao sighed. Su Yu didn't say anything. He just picked up the phone from time to time and stared at the screen. She couldn't seem to get enough of the photo that she had inadvertently taken. In the VIP room of Seductive Fox nightclub, Qin Chu answered a phone call and kept talking about work. Gao Ran and Zhu Lingling, the two microphone hogs, kept hogging the microphone. Just pick whatever you want to listen to. I know everything. Zhu Lingling was a little drunk. She was wearing a short black skirt and a small leather jacket. She was standing on the coffee table, looking crazy. You two sing Mortal Love Song for me, Huamin said seriously. Sis, can you do it? Your taste? Zhu Lingling glared at Huamin, exasperated. You can sing the hottest ethnic trend for me too, Huamin added. Gao Ran was drinking beer. When he heard this, he almost spat it out. Qin Chu is your wife from Rabbit Nest Village in Mountain Valley Town. She's so tacky, okay? Who would listen to the hottest ethnic trend in this day and age? Gao Ran asked with a smile. Qin Chu was on the phone listening to an executive report from his company. Then he looked at Huamin lovingly. My husband has the same taste. Are you going to sing or not? If you don't know how to sing, just say so. Don't make excuses for yourself. Huamin deliberately laughed. Who said I don't know how to sing? Of course I know how to sing. The boundless horizon is my love. Zhu Lingling began to roar. She was already out of tune on the first note. Oh my God, this tune has gone to the South Pole. Zhu Lingling, do you dare to shut up? Gao Ran yelled. I don't dare, huh? Zhu Lingling stood on the coffee table, twisting her waist as she glared at Gao Ran. Her comical appearance made Huamin burst out laughing. Just then, Huamin's phone suddenly rang. She looked down and saw the caller ID. Her expression changed. Chapter 500. After a moment of hesitation, Huamin still picked up the phone. As she picked up the phone, she walked out of the private room with her phone in hand. Hello? Happy birthday, Mian. Ning Ziyuan's voice was a little hoarse on the other end of the phone. Thank you. Huamin's voice was faint and distant. Mian, I miss you a lot. Ning Ziyuan, let me remind you that you are now Wu Xiaoshua's husband, and soon you will be the father of her child. Please remember who you are at all times. At this moment, Huamin wanted to laugh when she heard Ning Ziyuan say that he missed her. What was he doing when she needed his help so much? It was his nature to hit someone when they were down. Mian, I really regret it. I should have listened to your explanation back then. I shouldn't have doubted you, and I shouldn't have done those things to hurt you. I know you won't forgive me, but I still regret it, do you know? I don't want to give up, and I don't feel good about it. God gave me such a good girl, why didn't I cherish her? Ning Ziyuan was probably drunk, so his tone was a little emotional. Huamin only listened quietly without any emotional fluctuations. In this world, there's no medicine for regret. Life is a one-way train, and everyone has to be responsible for their own choices. Maybe this is fate. Thank you for your birthday wishes and don't call me again, because we don't even need to say hello. After speaking, Huamin decisively hung up the phone before Ning Ziyuan could say anything. She was a very decisive person, and once she broke up with someone, she wouldn't linger or dawdle, plus, she couldn't become friends after breaking up. After all, she didn't have the heart to accept everything that had happened in the past. If it weren't for the fact that the number system was based on her real name, she would have changed her number a long time ago. Otherwise, Ning Ziyuan's call would have really troubled her. Fortunately, Qin Chu wasn't such a petty person. Otherwise, it would definitely cause a misunderstanding between the two of them. In the corridor of the nightclub, Huamin finished a call and was about to turn around and leave. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from behind her. Little Sister Mian. Huamin didn't need to turn around to know that this person was Huasiqian, because he was the only one who shamelessly called her Little Sister Mian. Moreover, he had called her by that name for 7 years. He had actually known Huasiqian for 7 years. When she was with Qin Chu, Huasiqian had unknowingly existed. Although Huamin had never acknowledged this identity, Huasiqian had persistently called him that for 7 years. Outsiders who didn't know would think that they had a good relationship because they called each other so intimately. Why do I see you everywhere? Huamin was speechless. He turned around and coldly glanced at Huasiqian. Huasiqian's orange shirt was unbuttoned, and his chest was exposed. He looked very unrestrained. He had one arm around a big-breasted foreign girl, looking completely like a rich playboy. Who could tell that this was the president of the Hua Corporation, the famous young Master Hua? It means that we're fated. Little sister Mian, I heard from the old man that you're coming back to the Hua Corporation? Huasiqian asked with a smile. Yeah. Huamin nodded and didn't hide it. That's great, welcome back. Aren't you worried that I'll go back with the old man to deal with you? Huamin looked at him in confusion. If you're the one who's going to deal with me, then I'm more than willing. Huasiqian smiled. Don't try to hypnotize me. Only a ghost would believe you. Huamin knew that Huasiqian was extremely intelligent and shrewd. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten to where he was today, controlled the whole corporation, and forced the old man and his mistress into a corner. Therefore, Huasiqian's words couldn't be trusted. He was the best at putting up smoke bombs. After speaking, Huamin turned around to leave. Huasiqian suddenly walked up, took out something from nowhere, and stuffed it into Huamin's hand. Take it, it's your birthday present. Huasiqian smiled casually. Chapter 501. President Hua, are you kidding me? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he looked at the koala in his arms that wasn't even half a meter tall. The president of the Hua Corporation gave her a plush toy that wasn't even worth 50 yuan as a birthday present. She was speechless. Don't you love koalas? Originally, I wanted to give you a real koala. Please, that's Australia's national treasure, Huamin emphasized. I know, it's not hard to get a friend to smuggle one over, but the hard part is that the koala has to come with a eucalyptus tree, because it likes to eat eucalyptus leaves. The koala is easy to smuggle, but the tree is a bit more troublesome, so I'm going to give you a fake one. Huasiqian spoke nonchalantly, but Huamin was about to go crazy. He actually wanted to smuggle a koala for her. That was crazy, although she really liked koalas. But wait a minute, even Xianxia didn't know that she liked koalas, so how did Huasiqian find out? How did you know that I like koalas? Huamin looked at Huasiqian cautiously. I guessed. I don't believe you. You can't do anything about it if you don't believe me. Okay, be a good girl, hurry up and take your doll home for your birthday. Don't let your man wait too long, or else he'll come out scowling at you again. Oh yeah, I hate that cold look in his eyes. After speaking, Huasiqian walked down the hallway with the hot girl in his arms. Huamin held the gray koala in his arms for a while, and finally pushed open the door. Why is there a koala in your arms? It's so cute. Zhu Lingling saw it and immediately snatched it away. Then, she hugged it in her arms. Huamin sat down next to Xianxia, and after a few seconds of silence, he slowly said, Huasiqian gave it to me as a birthday present. Fuck, he's too stingy. How could the president of the Hua Corporation give such a shabby gift? Gao Ran felt indignant for Huamin. Forget it. I don't have any relationship with him anyway. I won't accept anything expensive. It would be better if he gave me a toy. Huamin was calm. Xianxia glanced at Gao Ran and slowly said, Can you help me check if there are any bugs inside? After Xianxia finished speaking, the other three were stunned. No way. Huamin was a little scared. She really didn't think so much just now. After being reminded by Xianxia, she became nervous. Her relationship with the Huasiqian was a little delicate now, and Huasiqian might do something to her. Gao Ran then took the plush toy from Zhu Lingling's hands. Based on his experience, he looked through it. As expected, there was something hard in the koala's stomach. I found it. There really is something inside. As Gao Ran spoke, he reached out to touch it. Huasiqian, that bastard, how dare he do something to me? Huamin clenched her teeth, her face dark. Xianxia didn't say anything. He only watched Gao Ran's actions. After a lot of effort, Gao Ran finally took out the object in the koala's stomach. It was a square brocade box. It was dark red, and it looked very classy. Why do I feel like this doesn't look like a bug? Zhu Lingling slowly said as she watched from the side. Huamin didn't say anything. She was also very curious to see what was inside. Speaking of which, how could Huasiqian be so scheming? How could he give a gift like this? If it wasn't for Xianxia's reminder, no one would have thought that there was something else inside. It looks like a bracelet. After Gao Ran opened the brocade box, he took out a transparent white jade bracelet. Even if someone who didn't know about jewelry saw it, they would still say that it was beautiful. It looks expensive. Zhu Lingling touched it and thought that it was cool to the touch. Qin Chu stood up and took the jade bracelet from Gao Ran's hand. He glanced at it and slowly said, "This was bought at the jelly auction house last week for 8 million yuan. It's a Ming Dynasty imperial concubine bracelet. Apparently, it was bestowed by the Emperor of Wanli." Chapter 502. Gao Ran, wow 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 wow, Zhu Lingling, huh? 8 million yuan? Hua Xiqian spent a lot of money? Huamin, so it really wasn't a bug? Huamin asked worriedly. No, it seems like it's just a birthday present. I was overthinking it. Then, Qin Chu handed the bracelet to Huamin. Huamin felt a little awkward. She picked up the bracelet and was about to walk out. I'm going to find him and give it back to him. Since he gave it to you, just accept it. Qin Chu was very calm. You're not mad? Huamin looked at him worriedly. Why would I be mad? He gave the Hua Corporation to you. Qin Chu smiled. He knew all too well how Hua Xiqian felt about Huamin. However, he didn't want to say too much. He didn't want to burden Huamin, so he sat down with his arm around her shoulders and comforted her. Yeah, since he gave it to you, you should keep it. If you don't want to wear it, you can give it to your mom. It'll be a waste if you don't want it. After all, Hua Xiqian spends a lot of money on girls every year. Zhu Lingling tried to persuade her. Huamin helplessly looked at the 8 million yuan bracelet. She didn't know what to say. She thought it was a stuffed animal, so she accepted it without any hesitation. Who knew that Hua Xiqian was hiding something so expensive in his stomach? Hua Xiqian was such a psycho. Hua Xiqian's gift gave everyone a false alarm, so they were no longer in the mood to continue playing. Everyone left Seductive Fox. Before they left, Rick came out and said something to Qin Chu. Huamian finally understood why Qin Chu had found out about her last time she was in danger. The boss here was friends with Qin Chu. It seemed like her guess was right. If Su Yu hadn't helped her last time, Rick would have been the one to help her. If Qin Chu hadn't helped her, Rick would still have helped her get rid of the flies that came to bother her. Inside the presidential suite of a certain hotel, Hua Xiqian looked down at the foreign woman underneath him. He was originally in high spirits, but suddenly he lost his desire. He got off her. What's wrong? Hua. The foreign woman was confused. She looked at Hua Xiqian. I'm tired. Okay, remember to call me. After the girl finished speaking in Chinese that was not very standard, she got dressed and left. Huamian's. Hua Xiqian's left. Hua's Hua and Hua. As expected, Huamin and the others arrived. He knew that Qin Chu had an unusual relationship with the boss of Seductive Fox. Therefore, he had been waiting there for a long time. Finally, he ran into Huamin. Huamian was happy that he gave Huamian the gift, but now, he felt conflicted. Hua Xiqian took out a cigarette and lit it. Then, he walked to the window with a white towel wrapped around his upper body. As he looked at the beautiful night sky, he suddenly thought of a scene from 7 years ago. Huamin was wearing a blue striped dress. Her hair was in a ponytail as she stood in front of a large glass window. She was seriously looking at a stuffed animal. It was a koala or a koala bear. Her eyes were so gentle. She even reached out to touch the koala. Even though she knew it was fake, she was still very interested. After that, he never saw any stuffed animals around Huamin. She didn't like all the dogs and pigs that girls liked. Even the most popular animals on the internet, Ali and Beauty Bunny, she didn't like them. She liked koalas that looked silly and cute. He was the only one who knew this secret. He bought the half-meter-tall koala at a toy store a long time ago. He bought the jade bracelet at an auction last week. It was a birthday present for her. Hua Xiqian always had an image in his mind. It was of Huamin wearing a white cheongsam and a white jade bracelet. Huamin had a very good temperament. She had a classic charm and delicate features. She gave off an aura that could only be felt and not described. Unfortunately, Huamin didn't like cheongsams and had never worn one. Huasiqian gave her a jade bracelet in hopes that one day, he could see her wearing a cheongsam and wearing it. Then she would amaze time, and amaze him. The smoke from the cigarette floated in the air. Huasiqian's lips curled up slightly. Mian, how much longer do I have to wait for you? On the way back, Mian sneezed. What's wrong? Did you catch a cold? Qin Chu immediately picked up the jacket beside him and covered Huamin's legs with it. Chapter 503. I don't think so. It's fine, I have a good physique. Huamin smiled. After the two of them went home, Huamin took a shower, exhausted. Then she rushed out and lay down on the bed. Her hair was still wet. Honey, get up. Why? Your hair is still wet. It's fine, it'll be dry tomorrow. Qin Chu, no, you'll catch a cold. Regardless of whether Huamin was willing or not, Qin Chu still pulled her out of bed. Then he took out a hairdryer and slowly dried Huamin's hair. Honey, are you treating me like a daughter? Huamin asked with a smile. I don't have a daughter as willful as you. Don't call me willful. It's my birthday today, and it's not even past midnight yet, so I'm the biggest. Okay, you're the biggest except for your breasts. Qin Chu mumbled quietly. What did you say? Huamin turned around fiercely. Honey, you're the biggest and your breasts are so big. You're smart. Huamin smiled and turned around. She was very happy with her birthday, and the gifts she received from everyone were very special. Other than the handcuffs from Gao Ran, everything else was to her liking. However, she was a bit conflicted about the bullet shell from Su Yu, because Su Yu's promise was too precious to her. It couldn't be measured with money. The next morning, Huamin was working the night shift, so she didn't have much to do during the day. After receiving a call from Hua Zhenghai, she went straight to the Hua Corporation. During the board meeting, Hua Zhenghai officially introduced Huamin to the Hua Corporation. The board members all knew that she was Hua Zhenghai's illegitimate daughter, so they all agreed. Then Hua Zhenghai gave 2.8% of the company's shares to Huamin, but she didn't have the right to control it. This was a premeditated plan, so Huamin didn't find it strange. Hua Zhenghai just wanted to use her as a puppet to deal with Huasiqian and protect Huasi. Xin Jiani gave Huamian a look, and Huamian immediately understood. So, during the morning meeting, she said to Huasiqian, President Hua, I have a request. What? Huasiqian didn't look as carefree as he usually did. Instead, he looked very serious, which was completely unlike him. I want to ask you to transfer Manager Hua back from the Philippines. After all, our corporation is short on manpower, and it's only a small case. We don't need Manager Hua to stay there permanently, Huamin said slowly. When Xin Jiani saw this, she immediately smiled and agreed. Yeah, President Hua, I think Huamin is right. The company is very busy right now. If C comes back, he can help you. Hua Zhenghai listened quietly without saying anything. He was waiting to see Huasiqian's reaction. Huasiqian slowly turned the Hong Kong dollar in his hand, as if he was deep in thought. After a while, he looked up at Huamin and asked, If he comes back, will you take his position? Huamin was speechless. He didn't think Huasiqian would do this. Seeing this, Hua Zhenghai quickly said, Xiqian, your sister just came back and isn't familiar with the business. If she goes to the Philippines, she'll delay a lot of things. Don't worry, we'll talk about it later. Of course, Hua Zhenghai didn't say this to help Huamin. He was just afraid that his son wouldn't be able to come back and he would lose his helper. Huasiqian glanced at Hua Zhenghai and suddenly laughed. Dad, I'm just joking with her. How could I let her go to the Philippines? What if she gets tanned? Upon hearing Huasiqian's words, Hua Zhenghai and Xin Jiani both let out a sigh of relief. Big brother just let C come back. Everyone misses him. Hua Yanyan couldn't hold it in anymore. Huasiqian glanced at Huamin and asked, Little sister Mian, are you speaking from your heart? It's your first day back, so I'll give you face. If you want C to come back, then I'll let him come back. The hot potato was once again in Huamin's hands. Although she didn't like Huasi, her plan had just begun. She couldn't go against Hua Zhenghai right away, so she had to at least give him some benefits first. Therefore, Huamin nodded. President Hua, please approve. Approve. Xiqian waved his hand and was extremely straightforward. Xin Jiani and Hua Yanyan were immediately overjoyed. After the morning meeting at the Hua Corporation, Xiqian glanced at Hua Min. "Come to my office for a second." Chapter 504. Hua Min only wore a white t-shirt, a red windbreaker, and black pants. She didn't look very formal, but she was full of youthful energy. She didn't look like a 24-year-old girl at all. Instead, she looked like a college student. "President Hua, what's up?" Hua Min didn't want to interact too much with Xiqian, so she went straight to the point. "You're on the old man's side now?" Xiqian asked with a smile. "Yeah, didn't you see it?" "You're so stubborn." "Okay, let's not talk about this. Did you like the koala bear from yesterday?" "Of course, who wouldn't like an $8 million koala bear?" Hua Min purposely looked up and said. Xiqian immediately laughed out loud. "What are you laughing at?" "I'm laughing at how direct you are. Of course, I don't like to beat around the bush. I'm not like you guys who have to be so secretive when it comes to giving me gifts. If I didn't do that, would you have accepted it? It's called scheming, understand?" "I understand. I've seen how scheming President Hua is. But you can't be cheated on. You're giving me such an expensive gift because you want me to help you deal with the old man, right?" "No, I alone am enough to deal with the old man and his people." Xiqian shook her head. "Then you? Who I give gifts to and what I give is purely up to me. Don't feel burdened. You've managed the Hua Foundation very well. If it weren't for your strict supervision, I reckon that a lot of the funds flow would be unclear. After all, there's not much left after layers of skimming. Although I don't often ask about it, the accounts are clear at a glance. Just treat it as a reward from me." "Really? If that's the case, then I won't hold back." Hua Min replied. "With me, you don't have to hold back," Xiqian said. Then she turned the globe and seemed to be deep in thought. "Is there anything else?" "President Hua, if there's nothing else, I'll be leaving." After she walked out of Xiqian's office, she was stopped by the female secretary again. "Miss Hua, the president asked me to give you some skincare products developed by the company." "What is it this time?" Hua Min was confused. "It's a facial mask this time. The president said you got a tan." Hua Min, subconsciously, she touched her face. Was it dark? She wasn't exposed, recently. Hua Min and Hua, she and Xiqian. Although she had returned to the Hua Corporation in name, she was only a director in name and did not participate in the internal work. And Hua S. Of Hua and S have Huat. She Huan. Charity had its benefits. Xiqian's charity had a good reputation and made a lot of contributions to the city. The government granted a piece of land to Xiqian and exempted them from paying taxes this year. Xiqian was really making a big deal out of nothing. She knew that Xiqian would never make a losing deal. In his office, Hua Min was reviewing the medical records of new patients while watching TV. Suddenly, a piece of news came on. Imperial Star Entertainment recently invested in a teen idol movie, Chasing You 99 Times. The female lead was a B-list actress, Jian Tong. Hua Min had a bit of an impression of this woman. She had acted in a few spy movies before. She wasn't very pretty, but she was petite and cute. She stood beside Su Yu in front of the TV. The two of them were promoting the new movie. "President Su, according to the grapevine, you've been chasing after a Cinderella. What's her occupation? Can you tell us something? Which girl is so lucky to catch President Su's eye?" A reporter suddenly asked. Hua Min suddenly became slightly nervous. She raised her head and stared at the big screen. Chapter 505. Su Yu smiled and asked the young reporter, "Which news agency are you from?" "President Su?" The young reporter was clearly shocked. "Go back and tell your boss that if he dares to ask stupid questions like this again, don't blame me for bankrupting him." Yes, my bad. "I'm sorry, President Su." The young reporter was so scared that she quickly backed away. "Please ask questions about the company's new movie. Thank you for your cooperation." Lisa immediately ran up to protect her boss. Huamin finally let out a sigh of relief. Luckily, Suyu didn't say anything. She was really afraid that if she was exposed, she would have to live under the spotlight and the media every day. Then she would completely lose her freedom. After Southside was reformed, and because of the Hua Foundation's help, it received a lot of praise. With more and more patients, Huamin became busier and busier. She was the head nurse, so she didn't have to work many night shifts. However, due to the increase in patients, she had to work overtime. Although it was tiring, it was fulfilling. A few days later, on Friday night, Huamin was about to get off work after a busy day. Before she walked out, she received a call from Zhu Lingling. Lingling? Girl, hurry up. Miss, slow down. What do you mean by hurry up? Huamin was confused. I want a ticket for the Night of the Lawrence Pearl. You have to get me one. Night of the Pearl? What the hell is that? Huamin didn't know what it was, but Zhu Lingling asked for a ticket. It really made her confused. Oh my God, miss, did you come from the mountains? You don't know about it? I don't know. Huamin immediately refused. Lawrence is the big boss of Las Vegas. Last year, he custom-ordered a luxury cruise ship called the God of Gamblers. This ship cruises around the world and approaches ports at random times. They hold a 3-day party in port cities, also known as the God of Gamblers Night. Apparently, a lot of European and American singers and actors will be on the ship. Even the richest people and celebrities in the country will be there. So, what does this have to do with me? Don't worry, listen to me. Lingling seemed very excited. Huamin put on her earphones as she got into the car and placed her bag on the passenger seat. Then, he drove the Audi R8 out of the Southern Recuperation Center. I just got off the plane, and I heard from a guest in the first-class cabin that the Gamble God is scheduled to land near our city at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. My goodness, that means we're going to have a luxurious dinner party here for 3 days and 3 nights. We've already sent out the invitations this year, and I heard that there aren't many. There are less than 100 invitations in our city, and all of them are from successful people. Your Mr. Qin is definitely the most important person, so I was wondering if you could ask Qin Chu to get me an invitation. I see. Huamin finally understood. Girl, please. But that's a group of men's games, why would you go? Huamin didn't know what to say. She never liked to join in on the fun. I'm going to see my idol. You know, I really like that handsome Western celebrity. He's so bad, so rebellious, he's so handsome. Zhu Lingling became more and more excited as she spoke. Okay, female pervert, I promise you, as long as Qin Chu has a way to get you an invitation, I'll get you one. That's great, I love you. Okay, I'm driving now, talk to you later. After hanging up, Huamin smiled. Lingling still liked to chase after celebrities. What was so good about Western celebrities? Her English was good, but those people had different lifestyles from her. She was really crazy because of how many international marriages she'd had failed. Huamin didn't forget that she promised Qin Chu that she would stay at the South Hill mansion every Friday. When she parked the car in front of the mansion, a butler immediately came to open the car door for Huamin. Uncle Li, I can do it myself. Huamin was embarrassed to see the 50-year-old man open the car door for her. A young lady, you must be tired. Uncle Li was a butler that Qin Chu had hired from abroad. It was said that he was a very good butler. Huamin was just about to speak when she saw the Maybach slowly drive in. Qin Chu was behind her, but why didn't she see him in the rearview mirror? You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.